Previously on Steel Talons, you guys, after finally closing the book on the situation with Dr. Hemlock, um, you returned to Earth and managed to, turn him in. You found out that you really hit Wayland Utani where it hurts. And then after some downtime and like pimping out your ship, you actually Horgus, excuse me, found out about a uh, a contract offer from a captain, a former ORDF captain, who basically said like, I want you guys to go to a pretty distant space station and recover the flight recorder of a long lost ship. So after recruiting the quest giver, uh, you decided to do just that. You went out there and discovered a station, but you got hit by a gravity shear, and um, the cliffhanger we ended on was the fucking Avalanos like careening towards the one of the plasma collectors on the I guess that's the uh Maw, like Trawling Arm 01. So everybody braces for impact, and then the ship fucking, yeah, slams into the trawling arm. Like you just feel like this very violent tremor. Um, Nobody, like, it's because you guys all brace yourselves and the pilot did a controlled landing. Um, you are like nobody gets hurt. So the first order of business is, well, I guess what do you guys do? Like, what do you say or
We
do? And
just
also,
got
hey,
this
Blitz.
freshly painted. Damn it!
Blitz.
It's Blitz.
Yeah.
It is.
That's what I do. I get pissed that we just painted this thing. Now it's ruined. So where we hit, is it is it like a power cell, or can we enter the station from it, or
So here's what I'll do is I will activate this new map. Do you guys do you have full vision of the thing or not? Or
yeah, uh, you can't zoom out.
you might have to, yeah, because it is a very large map. What you might have to do is there's a module if you go to configure settings, zoom pan options that you can actually change, like you can override the zoom settings. Like what I did is I set the max zoom, I had it on 3, and the minimum zoom is 0.1.
Is that in configure alien RPG
No, no, no,
settings?
configure settings. So if you go to configure settings, you scroll down to zoom pan options at the very bottom.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's the bottom.
yeah,
That's right. I
yeah,
have that
send
too.
yeah, send minimum zoom override to 0.1. That's what I did. Like it doesn't zoom all the way out, but it zooms out enough to where it's not like right in your fucking face. So yeah, so the Avalanos, you crashed into the station, and from the tremor of it, you feel like getting kind of lodged in, because basically, you know how the side of the ship, like there are the two particle beam cannons that are like that run parallel to the like hull of the ship. Yeah, one of those basically lodged itself into the side of the trawling arm like a splinter. So, no, you might
So
not
the
necessarily.
question,
Sorry.
could we pull out, pull away,
Well,
or do we have to go out and cut ourselves free?
well, you're going to have to do a damage assessment first, which is why I was asking, like, narratively, like, are there any sort of scenes or dialogue that anybody wants to have happen first, now that you just crashed into a station but are otherwise okay?
Uh,
It was
uh,
Tobias fucking arguing with himself over.
Okay.
what's our engineer say?
Um, so your main engineer is Evelyn. Emily is not going to be here for this session. So, um, in terms of the damage, um, so yeah, the where does it say? So Evelyn, I will say, does a little diagnostic, and she finds out the extent of the damage. So The first one is because there are three complications. The first one is that the ship's batteries are oxidized and corroded, so the batteries are dead, and you'll need either replacement batteries or find a way to recharge your current ones. She says the Avalonus is going to need 3 new or recharged batteries for engine ignition. So, first one is the batteries are foobar. The second one is the thruster compression coil is also foobar, and to get another one, you would have to either find a spare or more probably remove a working one from a different thruster of equal or greater strength. The Joker's Wild would not be applicable due to its, much smaller size, but this station's thrusters would be. And then the last one, because as you mentioned before, so the Avalonus is very firmly wedged into the hull of the station, so cutting it free is going to actually be important once you can actually like sail, so to speak. Um, a regular old cutting torch, however, won't do the trick. You would need an EVA pod, which are basically deep space mini subs, to be able to do it. Which you don't have one on your ship, but you may find one on this station. So
Alright.
that's the damage assessment that Evelyn gives, and also the fact that the one of the two particle beam cannons is like you're pretty much like fucked. In game terms, you could still use the other one without penalty. It's just more of a narrative thing, but you would have to, get that fixed, obviously. Um, but yeah, so basically one of the particle beam arms is kind of lodged into the station. So between that and the issue with the batteries and the compression coil, yeah, you're not going anywhere.
How do I zoom out?
In
You
game
said it, but
terms, oops, sorry. Whoever's talking, you're really low.
it was me. How do I zoom out? I mean, I know you said it, but it went by so quickly.
Okay, so how you do it is you go to settings and then configure settings. And then scroll all the way to the very bottom. There is zoom pan options.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
there's an option for minimum zoom override. I don't remember what the default is, but I set mine to 0.1. And then hit save changes. Then it gives you a pretty good amount of zoom. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it pops either between the two where you could see your icons or pop out and see the bigger picture.
Yep.
Nope. Well, I'm gonna reload.
Okay. So anyway, but yeah, so Evelyn gives you that damage assessment, and so what do you guys say? Like, do you like?
Shit.
Well, that that's kind of obvious, but so in terms of um, so, and I'm saying this mainly to Horgus, but it's viable for or relevant for any other crew members. But like, do you ask Evelyn any other questions, or potentially Rena any questions, or anything like that?
I have a
You
So,
discuss
question.
among yourselves.
out of character, is this a module thing that we actually have to find the parts? Or
Yes.
can we use the parts we've already bought and say, we've got parts already and let's fix it?
Yeah. No, you would have to find the specific
Okay.
parts of the station.
That's what I wanted to confirm. Okay.
Yeah.
But Evelyn could, so she's not here, she could start working on repairing the gun though, right?
No, the damage that you've taken to the gun is something you would have to go to a dry dock for. But like I said, like in the short term, the other particle beam still works. So it's not like both of the particle beams are disabled, it's just one is. And you still have a multitude of other weapons, so it's all good.
I have a question.
What's up?
So, this station has, like you said, like functional thrusters that we could replace the ones on our ship with.
Yeah.
What's the status of this thing?
So this station, and also by the way, Blitz, you're kind of quiet even after I turned you up. Like I turned your volume up to like 114, and you seems kind of muffled.
Oh yeah, I'm a little bit away from my mic.
Yeah, that would do it.
Alright, that should be better.
Yeah, hopefully. Um, in terms of the status of the station, you do not know because you have like so the station doesn't look like heavily damaged or like you know dismantled or anything like that. But it is worth noting that number one, you have not made contact with anybody on the station, if there is anybody on the station. And the second thing um, is that you haven't um, been able to do any kind of assessment on the station itself. You do note that because the station is um, a orbiting a black hole, or near one rather. Um, it has quite a few large thrusters that are keeping it stabilized, and I would say as sort of a narrative thing, Evelyn would point out that like yeah, this like a station like this would probably have like redundancies, like thrusters that aren't necessarily providing any benefit unless one of the main ones goes out. So you could go to one of the backups, take the coil out of that, and then the station wouldn't go spiraling into oblivion.
Alright. So,
So,
go ahead.
okay, well, if that's the case, right? It has more thrusters than it needs to maintain orbit.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, there's a thing called redundancy.
Yeah, which I meant.
yeah, but there's a specific reason. Why don't we just move the station when we need to go?
Well, the problem is that the station doesn't have an FTL drive.
No, but further away from a black hole does count.
You know, that too, that is also. So I was sorta onto something.
Just not onto what you were planning, I guess. So, um, yeah, but there are redundant thrusters that could be like scrapped for parts. Um, and yeah, so you have um, yeah. So, is there anything you say or do next?
So I asked Evelyn, what do we need for batteries? And how
Um,
do we get the charge from the station to the batteries? Do we bring the batteries with us?
so the batteries, like each power cell, um, in game terms, is like basically a meter tall barrel with harness straps with like a weight of 3. Um, However, if you don't want to carry the batteries, you could always potentially find like a recharging station of sorts that you could like hook up a cable from the station to your batteries and be able to do it that way.
We've we've got 2 load lifters.
True. You could use the power. I mean, actually, well, the problem is that um, in terms of the um, like, so I would say that while you're having like, if you bring that up, like, are you bringing that up in character?
Yeah, I would too.
Okay, so you guys are having this discussion in character, and meanwhile, so you're talking to Evelyn, Horgust, and when Martin says that, like, what about using the power loaders? Uh, Rena pipes up and is saying, because she's looking at a different monitor, and says that would be ill-advised. We are not currently um, within the hull of this station. And basically, what she goes on to explain is that um, if you guys were to leave the Avalanos, you have 2 options for how to do so, and they both have um, their drawbacks. So, one plan is that you can, especially with your suits, and like environment, like the Eco 2 suits, you could 0G from the outer airlock into it because there is an airlock very close to you. Um, you could board the station that way, um, or you can potentially use one of your drop ships, like the Seabiscuit or the Accipiter, um, to land in one of the hangar bays on the station. You know, because I would say that there would definitely be hangar bays. However, there are two risks. Like there are risks for each of those planes. Because on one hand, if you're using your ships and your suits in space, um, you would not get sucked into the black hole, but you would be taking on some very strong radiation from it, namely 1 point of radiation per turn, and you would need to do an air supply roll while somebody cycles the airlock. And the other one is in terms of the dropship, um, you wouldn't be uh, exposed to radiation or need to do an air supply roll, but you would obviously be announcing your presence even louder than you already just did.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about
Okay.
that.
So yeah, that's the stuff that Rena relays to
Yeah.
Martin, but also to everybody in the room.
Now, do we have this schematic so we kind of basically know where things are on this thing, since we can scan it, or we have
I
like
would say,
plans of
given
it,
the
or
model of this station, I would say you don't have the files like on hand, but I'm gonna have Evelyn do a ComTech roll to see if she can pull up like blueprints of it from the network. So let's see. So I think it would just be a flat ComTech, or well, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, because there's a modifier that she gets. It would be intense focus. So okay, one success. So she does actually get that. She does pull up schematics for this. I don't fucking remember what kind of what exact model of station this is. It's somewhere in this fucking handout. Let me see if I can find it. So does it say anything? Okay, so this is a no, it doesn't. It just says plasma trolling station. But whatever the exact model is, like designation, Evelyn pulls it up, and so you guys would have um, like blueprints of the layout of this thing, which is why I set at least this map to um, visible. So this, I'll show this handout. Do you guys see that pop up?
Yep.
So the factory complex, you see that like that large hollow like rectangular thing on the side, like adjacent to the factory complex. Yeah, that's what you crashed into.
yeah, underneath the main concourse?
Correct. Like underneath the text of main concourse, you crashed into that.
All right, and this is the power ring according to, so there's external power cell storage. It's a external power cell storage ring, right? So
Well,
from that, can Evelyn figure out where we need to plug a cord in to start recharging?
um, I would say in this case, no.
Where does she need to go?
Um, in terms of the um, well, the problem is that you know she has like the model of the station, but not the deck plans. And when I say deck plans, I also mean like where everything currently is, because keep in mind that like what she has is like the diagram that she pulled up is what she has and what she shares with you. She doesn't know like, for example, if this is up to date.
Right,
Like
but
it's
if we were going off of this, what does she need? What are we plugging into? That's what I'm asking her.
there would have to be a capacitor of some kind or like a power cell which you could potentially find on deck H or maybe one of the lower decks. So you are currently on
That's a
like
that's a long ass cord, dude.
yeah, I mean
Do we even have a cord that long?
you don't, but the station might. And keep in mind, like I said, um, the what you call it, the like you could also potentially find like just new batteries and then just carry those with you. So you don't necessarily need a cord to recharge, but um, that might be something you can find. So you do have there are options.
What are
just
distillery tanks? Is it water, power?
distillery tanks on this map. Those are for plasma because this is the deck that like absorbs the plasma like in the black hole. And these distillery tanks are what holds it.
It's like cooling, or is it actual storage tanks?
It's basically the equivalent of a fuel silo.
Okay.
So it's a fuel silo that is harvested, like holding and harvesting the plasma that is being like siphoned from the black hole, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do we see access points on the upper part of this station?
For
I
like,
closed it when you sent me, so
oh, it's okay. So if you wanted to go to a hangar, there are hangar bays on G deck, which is like one deck above you, which like basically you could either, like if you wanted to use a dropship to infiltrate, um, you can you can do that from one of the two airlocks, assuming one or both is functional. Um, or you can, or if you proceed in on foot, um, you can um, you can go up one level at like a junction, for example.
but we could still bring a dropship to a personal airlock and go in that way, right?
Yeah, you could fly up to the airlock, although what you need to consider is the fact that it um would the problem is that it would you would still have to get out and do a bypass on the airlock to cycle the airlock. So it's not like you're completely immune to radiation.
Okay.
Like if you want to completely avoid radiation and air supply rules, you would have to use your dropship to land in the hangar.
Do we know how big the hangar is?
You do not. However, you don't know the exact cubic space shit. It's just it's you know essentially it is, from the size of the station, you would assume that it would definitely fit at least one of your drop ships. The drop shuttle is kind of maybe, because the drop shuttle which is just references the one that you stole from the appropriated from the Avalanos when you captured it. Um, that might, but the dropships, like the actual military dropships, probably would because those are a little bit smaller.
So it's only one ship hangar then.
Yeah,
That's what.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a pretty tight fit, but Evelyn is confident that that at least the drop ships, like Cheyenne style dropships, could fit.
Okay. Damn it! I wanted to go in with an APC. Because who knows what the hell's going to be in there. What do you guys think? Does somebody want to take a radiation point?
No.
Probably.
Yes.
Probably shouldn't, but.
I already have one. Spread the love. Huh?
Yeah.
Because
I'll
I'd
join the
rather
club.
go into a personal airlock on the upper level than having to go from the hangar and work our way all the way up there.
I'll take some radiation.
One
For free?
radiation never killed someone.
Well, it gave Martin a permanent radiation after Simmons shot him.
Oh, that was Simmons.
Yeah, but he was using irradiated bullets.
So much better than a black hole.
Irradiated bullets?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
It's like using like depleted uranium to shoot a regular person.
He
You
did.
still have them.
That's what he
You
did.
still have them.
Fuck. What the fuck?
He
We
uses them.
shot him with the cancer gun.
That's that bro. That's like Oh god, that reminds me of fucking. Never mind. Why?
Oh,
It's crazy.
like
Yeah, that's what
overkill.
I said. I would never use
It's
that shit.
overkill as fuck.
want to take some radiation, Two Face?
Depends on which side of the coin you ask.
Both.
The normal one would be like, nah. The other one would be like, try and I'll rip your heart out.
I've
That's on you go.
volunteered.
All right,
All
so
here to tribute. What the fuck?
so
He-
if
he-
Blitz
he's like, hold on, let me
volunteers,
drink a little bit.
Literally
Well-
though.
we'll fly up, let him open a door, and then we'll jump out of the dropship behind him
So,
at a personal airlock.
so, so let me get this straight. So you're using the dropship to fly over to. Okay, so first deck H or deck G? Which one?
Higher. I like to be as high as I can to the command mod up top.
Okay, so you would be on. So you're going up to deck G, and you're saying you want to kind of do an in between of the plan of like fly the dropship up there, but then use your use your suits to get out of the dropship and try to cycle the airlock on foot.
Correct. Blitz will take the radiation force.
Well, but keep in mind he's going to have to do a roll to open the airlock.
What role is it?
I believe it's heavy machinery.
Funny thing,
Yeah, I know.
that's a strength skill.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure
Uh-oh.
heavy machinery is a whatchamacallit, I mean, I'll say in this case it's heavy machinery. I'm not going to backpedal. Okay, so you guys are so in terms of Gunny Horgust's like party, um whatchamacallit, uh which who all are you taking? I mean, obviously I'm assuming all five of the current PCs, but which NPCs are you taking?
Do we still need a medic?
I mean, do you want a medic?
Yeah, let's bring was it Thomas or
It was
Johnny? That's what I'm
Johnny.
thinking of. Johnny.
Yeah, you do have Heather as well.
No, Johnny.
Okay.
We talked about that. Johnny will be our medic going forward because Heather.
Okay, so
It's
Johnny.
more favorable for Johnny.
Okay, so he is going to. Well, I gotta make sure to um, add that to locker. The problem is that yeah. Oh, he's got his eco. Oh, there we go. So all right, he's good to go there. In terms of all of his equipment, and then which other NPCs are you bringing?
Do we want to bring more, or do we just want to do it with our own team and make combats quicker?
Well, I mean,
Uh,
in terms of other NPCs, I mean, you obviously have. Because here's the thing, you do not have right now. You don't have anybody who is like a Comtech specialist. I mean, we do have Summer who has Wits 5 and Comtech 1, but you have, in terms of like dedicated Comtech characters, like you have Evelyn, of course. You also have Sweetwater, and let's see who else.
Can we bring Evelyn as an NPC if
Sure.
she's not here?
Sure,
Okay.
I don't mind.
Then we'll do that then.
Especially because then she, when she shows up next session, then she can hop in. So, Evelyn, and then are you bringing anybody else?
Mm. And we have enough heavy with us, right?
Well, you have, let's see, Arthur with his heavy incinerator unit, you with a heavy incinerator unit, Martin with his smart gun. So those are the three heavy weapons. I was just alluding to the fact of like if you would want like another medic or another Comtech person or your science officer, like what do you want to do?
I was debating on Renna, but I think I'll have Renna just stay and monitor us on the hologram thing,
Oh,
so
the
she can
holotab?
monitor. Yeah, so she
Okay.
could support us from there.
Well, I will notify you that, like, for example, if you need to do like an autopsy on any kind
Oh
of
yeah, she can't do that, but I mean
yeah.
visually stuff. That's all I give. If we need her, she could be brought, and there's enough heavies to bring her with
Okay,
our
because
NPCs.
okay, because she does have. I will remind you that Rena, her observation pool is fucking 12. So, she has a bunch of like sciencey talents like analysis, breakthrough, etc. So,
Well, I asked her, does she want to go? I mean, this is an unknown.
I mean, she says to you that, um, given that she'd spent her entire life up until this point confined in a science lab, everything is an unknown to me. And she says if you would have me, I would not object to joining you.
All right, we'll bring her, and then uh, Amelia, Nor, Phil, um, and Andrea. They're gonna be um, our
Y- Yeah, speaking
ready.
of who's the pilot?
They're in. Uh, who was our second pilot? I know Mike is, and who was our other one?
Andrea is the pilot.
Okay, so Andrea is their pilot. Mike will be ours, because I like Mike. Um, they're in the other Chetney or whatever the hell the
Cheyenne.
dropship is, Cheyenne. Um, they're a react force, so if we hit something, they could get here quick, and they're ready to rock.
Okay, um, so which dropship? Are you taking the Seabiscuit or the Accipiter?
What's the difference?
Well, the Cheyenne, like the Seabiscuit has more weapons, but the Accipiter actually has limited FTL capacity, which isn't really relevant in this situation. So I
Yeah, I don't
honestly,
give
it's
a
just a
shit.
yeah, it's a preference of like just whichever you prefer.
Mike, which one you want to fly today?
And day welcome in number attached to that old Seabiscuit, he
All
says.
right, we'll take a sea biscuit. Then I don't give a shit. We're hopefully only flying to the air dock.
Okay, so yeah, I will copy these tokens. Okay, so you're flying up to the like both of the drop ships, drop out of the Avalanos, and
Well, no, they staying in. They're they're just if we call them, they could get here.
well,
They could
but
fly
keep
out.
in mind that it would take them a bit of time to get out and get to you. So if you get into trouble, they're not there right away.
Oh, it's not like Star Blazers where they just and they're out.
Well, if you remember in Aliens, there's the whole procedure of like first the
Don't
crane
remember.
fucking lifts the dropship, then lowers it into the sort of staging area between the two airlocks. The bottom airlock opens, the ship drops out, and then the ship has to fucking fly all the way up to the station and then deploy troops that way.
I look at Evelyn and tell her that she's to design fucking launch pads for us, so we could just launch them out of the ship. We could crane them in, but we want a launch pad out. We could put them on the side of the ship, and we just launch out the
Yeah, well, because
sides.
here's the thing: is that you do have like these 5 slots. These are cargo hangars, um, and you might consider because the problem is on one hand, like the cargo bay, if you open that, it would suck all the cargo out into space, but you could theoretically get a dropship in there and just fucking fly it out once you decompress the cargo bay.
Yeah.
So that might be something worth considering. But anyway, so I will move you guys up to deck G. I will say that as Mike is flying around, so would you? I'll activate this. Do you guys see this map?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so do you? Are you attempting to go to the port hangar deck or the starboard one?
No, we're not going to the deck.
Why? I'm talking like which side are you going to, port or starboard?
I thought the control thing was all the way up at the top.
Well, the control, like if you're talking about um, like the main control center.
All right, so is this the main floor then?
No, I told you this is where the hangars are.
Right, but what's above this? I mean, where's the command, the
The
main
command
hub of
center.
the,
So let's see. So where is
like, what's security muster point? What's above that? Why do they have a security? Like, can you get, I mean, is the comm tower, is that the
I'm looking at it.
main,
So hold on, I need to check something. Just give me a second. So oh Jesus Christ. Okay, so hold on, is this the right one? So theoretically, I think it's the operations center is on deck B. Let me just double check that right quick. Sorry, there are a lot of decks on this thing, and also this module,
yep,
like way it's written. So let me check this right quick. There is an operations center on deck B with an observation deck and stuff like that. So
that's
if
where
you
we're going.
okay, so I will
Because
activate
what's on A?
deck A is a like an observation, like an observatory.
Oh, okay.
Like there's really not anything up there.
All right, then we'll go to B then.
Okay, so I will toggle navigation and activate hold on a sec. I'm forgetting something. Well, first I gotta copy all the tokens and put them up there. Oh, I didn't have, there we go. Whoa. Shit, that's a lot. I'm gonna move them up there. Just give me a sec. I appreciate your guys' patience.
All right.
Token vision. Set that, and then what else am I forgetting? That. So, okay, so now I will activate this scene, and then, okay, so which airlock are you entering in? Because you've got personnel airlock 03 and personnel airlock 02.
2.
Okay, so the like the dropship bay uh, opens, and Arthur, I'm not gonna make you do mobility for 0G because you have your suit, but you do have to do heavy machinery to cycle the airlock.
Oh boy, oh boy. I'd
Better
like to
hold your
think that,
breath.
oh yeah. Now, I'd like to think that, instead of any sort of like real technical work being done here, he's just forcing it open.
He's trying to pry it open like Turok style.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, okay, you got an extra success. What would you like to do?
Um, could I make a minor narrative declaration that would kind of affect like how it works?
Let's look at the stunts. So you can, one of them, basically from what the sound of it, there is, number 6 is you show off, which I feel kind of coincides with what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So you're gonna see, you know, your buddy here kind of float towards this airlock, and then he gets his big, uh, like gloved, spacesuit hands, and puts them right in the middle of the airlock, and just you hear what maybe sounds like metal bending a little bit, maybe, but it just rips it open,
Okay.
and systems, notice that it's open, and accounts and cycles the airlock. Does that
Okay.
work?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That was very nice. But however, in terms of the time you're spending out there doing that, so you've got 1 point of radiation. So mark a rad on your sheet, and then I need you to. I think you could do radiation rolls. Like if you
How
click.
do I do that? Oh,
Okay.
there it is.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't take any damage uh from the actual rad point, but we'll address that later. Okay, and then also I need you to do an air supply roll, um, which is, yep, okay, very nice. Okay, so you get the airlock cycled, and of course it is a dual stage airlock. So like you can enter the airlock and then close this door and then open the other one. So um, everybody, I guess, heads in.
Yep.
Except for Mike, of course, because he's flying. Uh,
Yeah.
Brenna's suit, I mean, is space sealed, but it doesn't have thrusters, so she just kind of hitches a ride with whoever will have her.
Do we
Yeah.
not have a suit for her?
Did you?
We have a whole bunch of extra suits. We should have a suit
Okay.
for her that
Okay.
has
Well, I'm just
jet
saying
power.
she does have her Presidium suit by default, but if you want to give her an eco suit, I'll let you wreck on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So deduct one from your ship. Um, and I will add
Okay.
this eco suit to Brenna's sheet. I will oh, the Presidium wasn't even active, so eco 2, there we go. Um, and add that to locker. Okay, so yeah, so she has her eco 2 suit and can glide along with the rest of the pack. And yeah, so you guys all enter the airlock, and Mike over calls, "Have fun in there, Commander. If you find somebody to run over, you call me, okay?"
You got it.
All right, and then so that you keep well also, and do you order him to just kind of loiter there, or uh try to land in a hangar, or go back to the ship? What do you want him to do?
How long does it take him to get from where we are to our ship? Like around or?
It would take probably about a turn, like 5 to 10
All right.
minutes.
I tell him to hold there for like 5 minutes in case we need to evac quickly. After 5 minutes to fly back to the ship and stay by the ship
Okay.
until we call him.
Um. So yeah. So you cycle the airlock. Um. And when you enter the station, what catches your eye is the fact that well, actually, do you do anything before you like go open the inner airlock?
Can we? Is it? Does it have glass? Can we look or?
Um, that's what I was getting at. So the thing is that the lights are very dim, so it counts as like low light, and you're not able to really make out detail. Like you don't really see anything moving around out there. Um, like there are some access like panels and stuff that seem to be working. Like you see the lights, like the glow of computer screens. Um, but the lighting is such that like you can't really make out detail, if that makes sense.
Do we have night vision?
You don't have night vision, but you have your shoulder lamps. They illuminate a zone, but you are not in the zone.
Okay. But we can't aim our light through the glass to see. The light doesn't.
Uh,
shine
no,
through?
because that would just hit the glass. Um, but basically, because like the situation is that there's red emergency lighting and there's pale blue light from the control center's like screen readouts.
Okay, but we don't see anybody
You don't see
close
any
to the door.
people and you don't see any kind of creatures or anything.
Okay.
So from what you can tell from where you aren't like you're alone. That doesn't necessarily mean
Okay.
you are alone, but from what you can tell you are.
Mhm.
Mm.
Now, there's like a pad in this room. Could Evelyn hack this pad and gain any information?
Yeah, Evelyn can do a diagnostic on this operations thing if you um if you go into the room and look.
I mean, from where we are now.
From where we are now, no, you would have to actually go into the room and go up to the computer and look at it.
Okay.
So
All right. Well,
who's
let's.
going on point?
I could.
Okay. Um, so if that is the case, Summer, if you're opening the door and you're stepping out, I need you to do a mobility roll, and you have the stealthy talent, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so do me a mobility roll, please. Oh my,
Ooh,
good lord.
sweet.
I didn't even add the selfie talent. but
Okay, well, something tells me you're probably gonna, well, if you really want to roll those extra dice, you can.
Oh, what is
I
it?
just find it hilarious
That's
that I
the
keep hearing
notification.
the selfie talent.
Yeah.
No, selfie.
It
Oh.
sounded like
Selfie.
you said selfie.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Oh,
meant stealthy.
oops.
Okay. Um, so in this case, well, actually, hold on. I should have asked this before. So are you guys planning to travel as a group, like all at once, or are you sending somebody out single file? I should have asked that before.
Right now, she's scouting it, so
Okay, so
we're
she's going on
covering
her
her
own.
from the
Okay.
doorway.
Yeah.
So
And covering the doorway will be
Yeah,
our
would
smart gunner and our other flamer.
okay,
which door would I be at? Sorry.
you are personnel airlock 2. I will move Arthur out of the way and move you into
Okay.
the airlock. So just there you are.
There you go.
And I'll also open the door. Okay, how far in are you moving? Are you moving straight ahead or are you just stopping here and looking both ways?
I'll stop here and look both ways.
Okay, in that case, do an observation roll.
Alright. Good. Uh, no, I don't think I can add. No.
Okay, roll your panic. Yep. Whoa, what?
Whoa, what?
How did you?
I don't. What?
Did it? That's fucking weird because you aren't actually panicked, and
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
have any stress.
yeah, that is very unusual. So if I hit panicked and then yeah, because it's still showing the last panic result you had.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like it was okay. So try it again.
Yeah.
See if that fixed it. Okay, there we go. See, that's more realistic. Um,
I just
so
had one stress.
yeah, add your stress back. Um, okay, so um, you are looking to the north and to the south, but you don't see anything. Maybe it's just because of the lighting or whatever. But like, so nothing kind of jumps at you. All right. So what do you do?
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Um. I'll.
So why were we here
Blinking
again?
light. I'll ask August. It's August. Yeah. Ask him if he wants me to just go all the way around and scout out the entire place or not.
Let's move straight ahead into the main operations so that we can see you.
Okay.
So, Cody, can you put the zone lines in?
Yeah, because weirdly this map does not seem to have any by default, so let me remedy that. So, in terms of zones, where is draw, polygon? So what I'll do is, because this is a pretty small space, I'll just divide this into quarters if you guys think that works.
That's
Right.
fine. But I don't think you could do it in the middle of a hex, because then that hex, what's zone is the hex in.
That
You
is
gotta,
true. I was just trying to divide it evenly.
yeah.
So I'll move
Some
this
zones will be a
one
little smaller, but
down a little bit, and then I'll move this one to the right. if that works. So it's offset, but at least the squares divide evenly. Okay, so Summer, you're moving up.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to do another mobility, please. Stealthy would apply.
Damn.
Oh my god. Okay, roll your panic, but you do succeed at your mobility.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I need you to do the inverse. I need you to do another observation.
Alrighty.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so
Once.
Summer, what you see is let me pull up the handout in question. So as Summer, as you move to here and you're looking around,
Oh.
so it looks like, slumped against the wall, looks like, you found your first survivor. Someone is sleeping in the corner, their shadowy bulk facing away from him, his back rising and following, uh, with a steady breath of sleep. Um, however, with a low, guttural moan, the dark fetal man begins to rise, his back shifting as thick tentacles spill out in front of him. Um, you don't know what the hell you're looking at. With no arms, legs, or head, this thing is clearly not a man at all, but rather a monstrous seven-limbed starfish. And, yeah, and so this is what you see. And,
Do I
yeah.
have enough successes to do a stunt?
Depends on what kind of stunt you want to do.
Having more of them close by.
Is that actually a stunt?
Or
Yes.
observation.
Yeah, there is
Okay.
actually another one close by. Because you realize that like you look behind you and then you see like, wait, how did I miss this? There is another one nearby, and that was the fucking first mobility roll that you did. You didn't. Now keep in mind is that you didn't like. You haven't currently relayed this to the rest of the group, but yeah. So here's the thing. As for the first one, though, yeah, something launches from the creature's mouth and like bounces across the floor. Uh, it is the gnawed, fleshy skull of its last victim. So I need you to take a point of stress for this.
Yeah.
So I mean, hell, probably I would say in this case take two for two different scenarios. One is the usual creature you've never seen, and the other is yeah, this thing just barfed up a skull. So
Uh,
it is technically passive in game terms, as in it's um yeah. Let me just double check what that means. Uh, and you did succeed at your observation, and it failed at its mobility, so you like it didn't really register you, but if you take any kind of offensive action, it will. Where's the stealth mode? Uh, so in stealth mode, you will automatically detect passive enemies. Okay, so yeah, you did spot them. And what do you want to do?
well, I'm gonna tell the others, and I presume I'll have to fight it. No.
Yeah,
Or
potentially.
yeah, probably.
Are you? You're not an enclosed fighter, though, are you?
I am an in-close fighter. I am the
Okay.
chubby person.
Then you don't mind being the close. Okay.
No.
That's why I wanted to make sure. If not, I would say stealth away. Then we'll trigger the initiative.
Nah, man. I've got hard hitter and weapon specialist for
Yeah.
my
Okay.
shovel.
So, do we just want to go to initiative and take them down?
Well,
'Cause,
hold before you go rock and roll NRA, I need to double check how like sneak attacks work. Because you might have the opportunity to do that. So, um,
oh, I'm thinking Twilight. We just get the first four.
so, well, I mean, in initiative in this, if you do a sneak attack, like if you succeed at your mobility, then you can do like everybody on your team could do a fast or a slow action before initiative starts. So, but I'm just trying to find out where the hell the actions and initiative is. It down here somewhere? Helping others? No. Sneak attacks. Okay. When you stalk someone and catch them unaware, it is called a sneak attack. Roll your mobility against its observation. You get a modification depending on how close you want to go. So,
Banana.
Summer, if you want to get into engaged range to bludgeon this fucking thing with a shovel, that would be a -2 to your mobility.
Okay. Do I still get anything else or no?
Stealthy would cancel that out if it's +2.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
So, oh my god. All right, let's see if this thing. Oh, interesting.
Did it tie?
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a tie, and tie goes to the defender. So, like, it hears you stepping towards it, and then like it kind of like rises up and looks at you and lets out like a low rumbling noise. So, having failed your your
Oh,
sneak
wait, I
attack,
could push it, couldn't I?
that is true. I'm sorry, I kind of jumped the gun there.
No,
You
I
didn't
I
indicate you
forgot
wanted.
about it too.
You didn't indicate you wanted to push, so I'll retcon that. You can push if you want.
I'll attempt to.
Okay, so you do get the advantage, but you do need to panic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's panic.
Oh!
How did
So,
I blow?
in that case, I think it's still because this is a very interesting case.
She
Of
This is
stealthed
roll
up
10.
about to attack and was like, but
should
the
I really be
creature
doing
then would
this?
be another
Fucker.
be another recon roll. You know, I mean, another perception for him to find him. If he does it, then
Yeah, I'll do
she
another.
tries again.
All right, I'll do another. I'll have it do another observation and give it basically a second chance. So, it's still it succeeded. So in this case,
Damn.
yeah,
Doubles.
it sees you. Um, so we are now going to roll initiative, and I understand that all of these people outside are in the room or the airlock. I mean, okay, so
Can
initiative.
we actually position ourselves so? Oh, it doesn't matter in this game. It doesn't go by meters. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay, so
I find a brain.
I will first draw all, and and the thing is, these things have speed 2, so I draw a second card for them. Do I? Okay, which one is it? Is it clone actor? I think. No, that's not it. It's hold on, oh crap. You just give me a second. I'm trying to figure out how to remove actor. Okay, is it duplicate combatant? Yes. Okay, so duplicate combatant, and I'll get to the players in just a sec. Okay, so and then for PCs, who has fast reflexes first?
That would be me, I think.
Okay, if you have fast reflexes, I will. Let's see. Re-roll initiative. Do you want a 7 or an 8? I mean, do you want to just stay at 7?
7 will do.
Okay, 7 will do. Evelyn has the talent. I know that because of how much you and Evelyn do that. So re-roll. She can get a 6, so she'll take that. Anybody else have fast reflexes? I will take that as a no. So next question before we actually start initiative:
Cuddles?
who wants to swap initiatives with other PCs? And I would say also NPCs like Rena and Johnny. Oh shit,
We
Mike
could
is.
probably get rid of Mike.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to say he's not gonna fucking go Prometheus like ram into the station to kill it. His famous last words: "I'm going in." Crash.
No, just this is the greatest plan.
Um. Because my brain's a little fried right now. When I lost the action, that mean I lost my attack.
Yeah, I
or
would say
did lose
yeah,
my-
that's the effect of it because you didn't actually take an act.
Right.
Like your action was basically you're trying to sneak up on this thing and you kind of stalled, which gave it another chance to spot you, which it did.
Could I switch with Arthur then, since I'm
No.
right? Oh,
The reason I say no is the number 1 is your creature. So no
Uh,
matter what, you're getting hit. So the
Actually,
2,
no,
actually, the
one
number
isn't my
one is this
creature.
guy by the airlock.
Yeah, my creature is at the bottom.
wait, how did I?
Yeah, Summer's guy is at the very
Oh,
bottom
when
of
I
the
rolled
initiative.
over it,
long as I go
it
before him.
highlighted. It highlighted that.
Weird. 1 and 3,
No.
either the 1 and 3 is this guy by the airlock, and the bottom 2 slots are this guy down here.
Okay, so 1 and 3 is the one by us then.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind then. As long as I go before the one in front of me, that's what matters to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
you will.
so I will switch to Bias as our smart gunner, right?
No, that's Martin.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
I am nowhere near a smart
Martin,
gunner.
switch with me.
Okay, you want Martin to switch with Horgust?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I will go before Summer. Because my plan for Summer is I am going to counselor her and then command her to kill that bastard.
What, drill
'Cause it's a
sergeant's like, be more scared of me! That from before?
Yep.
Okay. Just double checking. Alright, and then so you want
Try to reduce some
do
of
you
her
want
stress.
Arthur to be where he is, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're the 2 guys covering the doorway, so they could both fire at Cuddles number 1.
Okay. Also, for the record, I did not name these things Cuddles. That is legit in the book.
I like it.
I mean, if they didn't kill us, I bet they would give good cuddles.
Yeah, so, alright, so you
Yes,
guys
that-
ready? Okay, begin
I
combat.
guess so.
So, this one, it starts to move because it hears the, like, it reacts to the other one making noise, perhaps, like, communicating, like, not necessarily telepathically, but, like, but either way, it picks up on the disturbance. It starts to move, and then it sees an entire airlock full of prey. And, uh, who would have been on point? You said Martin, or was it somebody else?
Um, Martin and Arthur are on our smart gunner and our flamer
Yeah. Okay, well,
on
I'm
either
gonna,
side of the door, so they get the cover of the door.
yeah, so I would say that puts him on point, so I'm gonna roll a D2. Heads, it's, like, 1 is Arthur, tails is Martin. Okay, goes after Arthur. So, are you going to save an action to try to block?
I'm gonna smack this thing to death with a shovel immediately.
Well, you can't attack it yet, but I'm asking you, are you going to
The
use
moment I
your,
get the chance.
yeah, your fast action in advance to block?
I am gonna stand there looking at it like it's stupid for coming after me.
Okay, and also, do you have your shovel or your flamethrower out?
Flamethrower.
Shovel.
No, you got your flamethrower, dude. You have your flamethrower out.
It's on.
Unless you're going to argue with me when we set this up. Because I don't need you with a shovel covering Evelyn in the operations room.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
Okay.
flamethrower it is, I guess.
If you
So,
want to stand there and drop your flamer and draw your shovel, you're more than welcome. That's stupid, but you could do it.
well, he actually has a better melee pool than flamethrower.
Yeah, but you could burn them with a flamer.
That is true. Well, I mean, so
Put them on fire.
I'd say it's ultimately up to Arthur. Are you going to use your flamethrower, or do you want to swap to your shovel? Because here's what you could do: is you could save a fast action to block now, block with the flamethrower, and then either burn it with a slow action or pull out your shovel. You have quick draw, right? Nope.
No.
Might want to get that next time. But yeah, so, and then you could switch to your shovel on your next section. But either way, I just need to know right now, are you blocking?
No. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll block with the flamethrower
All right.
as best I can.
So let's see what it does. Oh my. Oh my.
Bubbles just rocked you.
Um.
It violates me?
Oh.
What kind of
Um,
module is this?
One side of me is looking away, the other side is looking in horrified fascination.
With tentacles.
so, well,
God.
let me put it this way. You guys know, remember in Prometheus when the fucking engineer got attacked, like at the end of the movie when he was trying to kill Shaw, and then she opened the door, and then that giant fucking thing like grabbed his face and like fucked him in the face. Yeah, that's what this is. So,
Anti-animator's dream, I guess.
yeah.
I find it. What I don't like about it is, okay, you grapple me, you
fuck
get
was that
2
voice?
attacks. The second attack should be you shouldn't immediately get 2 separate attacks in a
Well,
3-second.
here,
That's my problem.
well,
I
here's
hate that.
no,
That's
hold on.
that's that's
Here's
cheap.
the thing. So the reason, so it rolled those both automatically, but the thing is that if Arthur wins the opposed roll, the first one, the second one is irrelevant. He just needs to win the first one, and then so it says against the target's close combat. So technically, that doesn't require an action from the sound of it. It doesn't explicitly say it requires an action. So Arthur, just roll close combat, and you might even be able to have both of your actions.
What am I rolling against?
You are rolling just your close combat. You just need 1 success.
Okay, it looks like the roll that you did ended up being hidden afterwards.
No, it's not. It's public.
Yeah, no, we don't see it. We
What?
just see the
Yeah,
attack
I
roll
don't see
text.
nothing.
Oh, that's odd. Well, either
All I
way,
saw is that I was getting violated.
yeah. So just well, either way, just roll your. I just need you to roll a close combat, and all you need is 1 success.
Is it? Can I push it?
You can, yes.
Thank God.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Look at the chat. This is Arthur right now.
So, oh my god.
It's worse than that, though. It's worse.
Oh my god.
Look at his face, man. Okay.
Oh my god. So
Awesome.
you do win at the attack. So basically your kung fu instincts kick in. Karate noise is optional. But yeah, so you hit it with the flamethrower, smack away its like dick-like tentacles. And also, yeah, so okay, so it failed its attack. So,
Jesus,
but they
man.
still if the victim wins, they fend off proboscis for this attack, but must still make an immediate panic roll. So roll panic. And also, yeah, panic. And you would also before that, you'd take a point of stress because this is something you have not seen before. So add up the stress and then panic.
Should we all just add a stress at this point?
Yeah,
since
you
we
would.
see it?
Yeah, well, now you're adding
Wait.
2 because Arthur panicked.
Wait. When I rolled panic, it added an extra stress like instantly.
Oh,
that was just the
that's
thing
because of
automatically doing.
the nervous twitch. Yeah, so
Okay.
so everybody would actually add 2 points of stress.
I had 2 points.
Stress is so fucking stupid.
You, Evelyn, or not Evelyn, Summer, did you already add 1? Because you
not
wouldn't add
in this
2,
one.
you would just add 1 from the nervous twitch because you've already seen this thing.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
What's
that's
the
6.
overkill effect again?
The overkill
Isn't
effect.
it? She's in a different zone. She shouldn't have to take that stress,
That
right?
that's true. Then in that case, if she's not in short range, then scratch that Evelyn or Summer. I'm sorry, I keep calling you Evelyn for some reason.
It's okay. Look alike.
Okay, so all right, so Arthur, so yeah, you're panicked. You're like, oh, what the fuck is this thing?
What's the overkill effect though?
So
'cause that's
overkill,
relevant.
if you get a a panic result of 11 or higher, instead of suffering the actual effect of it, if there's at least one enemy in sight, you go fucking berserk and have to kill all the enemies until you or all the enemies in the room are broken.
Okay. So I rolled too low to get that then.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Okay. So, but that, yeah, so the creature failed to attack you. So next is Martin.
Can I shoot shit? Just do that.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. Can I shoot at this thing?
Yeah,
Like, actually, where am I? Because right now I'm
you're in the
outside of
airlock.
space.
You're in the airlock. I just can't move every single token into the airlock.
Okay. And the airlock is here?
Yeah, personnel airlock 2. You're where the door is. So, I mean, it's obviously not that small of a space. That's just
Like
the way
that.
the map is. Yeah, like so you're in the airlock, and this thing is effectively, if you're beside Arthur, this thing is in engage range with you.
Okay. Can I take a step back and unload
Yeah, so you can get
my
to short.
gun?
Well, yeah, because it's not technically attacking you. There's no attack of opportunity, so you can back up to short range, back against the airlock, and fire at it.
Okay, so that's what's gonna happen.
So you would not be able to aim, but you can do the machine gunner thing as usual. So
So inventory. Right click on smart. No. Yeah. No. There we go. Well, let's go over the modifiers. So machine gunner +2. No, what was it?
machine gunner gives you a
Weapon
+2,
specialist.
and weapon specialist gives you a +2.
Okay, so +4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. Is that all on damage?
Yeah.
Okay. Armor piercing. Let's see if that helps it. It soaks 1. That's 4 damage coming towards it though. So you hit it pretty bad and lets out like a low rumbling roar of frustration and pain. So yeah, that's Martin, and then opening sounds of like kung fu fighting as it's Arthur's turn.
It's over for this thing. I'm not going to tolerate that kind of disrespect.
Where it shoves a tentacle where it's not supposed to go.
Yeah.
It thinks it's going to fuck me to death? No, I'm going to fuck this thing to death. What are my options? Because it's like...
What are
like,
your
it's not
options? Look
grapple,
at the
but
gift
it's very
below.
much
This is
like...
um
Do I have the ability to pull out my shovel
yeah, as a fast action.
and hit this thing in the same turn?
Yeah, you can.
No, he doesn't have a fast.
Actually, he does, because here's the thing: is that if you recall in the attack, like the violated thing, it actually specifically says like it doesn't like it basically gives you a close combat block as a free action, which I didn't know it could do. So he actually has both
Oh,
of his actions.
that's cool.
Like there are some signature attacks that will straight up say roll your close combat. It doesn't say it's an action, so he can still like if he had failed, he could have used his block as like a plan B, but he didn't need to.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It has no idea. It just set itself up for failure.
All right, well,
All right.
Well, then
How
make
about-
it fail. Stop talking and make it fail.
Okay, let me just double check. Okay, looking good. Oh. I'm missing 2 dice on that.
okay. Do you want to just re-roll?
Yeah, how do I... There we go, okay. My...
Oh my God!
That's a much better reroll. Holy God, Jesus Christ!
Can,
You stumbled the shit out of that dude.
can I push it?
That'll be,
Yeah.
that'll be
No,
the
don't
last
push
good
it.
roll today.
He can't push it
you rolled
anyway.
stress.
Yeah, he panicked anyway, so you can't roll stress. But yeah, so roll your stress first.
Damn
well,
it.
I mean, well, you're not using agility anyway, so, so let's see, is that all on damage?
You best believe it.
All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. And
Oh,
let's
the enemy's barely scratched.
How fucked up is it from that?
from
Oh,
8
that
damage,
sucks.
8 damage. It's
Dead.
yeah, you got it down to 0 HP, and let's see what the crit is. Say leave it on private for the moment of suspense. Oh my god!
Yes! He tore the shit out of it with a shovel.
Oh man. Can only be analyzed with observation -2. You can't even. You look at this thing and it's mush.
And then Arthur, or like you turn around, you look to the good Dr. Hemlock. It's all yours. That was fucking amazing.
Everyone just looks on in horror as Arthur just keeps smacking it with the shovel repeatedly, even after it is long gone by now, but it's turning into pudding.
Yeah, it's like that GIF I posted of Luke Skywalker pounding the shit out of Vader. That's Arthur with his fucking shovel. Jesus Christ. Oh man, okay, that was an amazing turn. So, and luckily you killed it before it would have gone next.
Yes, that was good.
So, Kronk, it's your turn.
Alright, time to kick some ass and chew some bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum.
I thought the quote was, I'm here to kill Simmons.
There's no Simmons in sight. Is this one alive as well as? Well, I'm pretty sure this one's the one that.
So that one
That'd
just
be
got
dead.
kilverized. I gotta mark it dead. So he's dead.
This one.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one,
So is this the one
I
that's
would
alive?
say, no, that one is out of your line of sight, though, because he's hunched up against the wall on the other side, so you would have to move up in order to see it.
Well, I mean, like, where would I move my? Would I have, I'm guessing. I guess I do that
You can
since
move so if you move into this zone with Summer, that is a fast section, but you can move anywhere in the zone that you want. Like, you could move up to Summer, for example.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I'll move you into the zone first. So where do you want to go?
I guess I'll move close enough to where I can see this thing and actually shoot at it.
Alright, so what I'll do is I'll shuffle Summer to the side a little bit, just so we can see. So, you come around the corner, you see this thing, and yeah, so, you still have a fast section to shoot, or a slow action, I'm sorry.
Yep. So I'm gonna take out my trusty weapon,
Which
or
one, your pulse rifle or your magnum?
the Magnum, since I have since it's my favorite weapon now. Oh, I don't. What the hell? I don't. Oh, okay. There you go. Weapon specialist. I couldn't see for a second. And I'm gonna use, since I have weapon specialist for my Magnum, I'm gonna use it.
Oh, you do? Well, I
Yes.
just see as weapon specialist, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, I specifically put it from Magnum.
Okay.
I'm going to do the whole age-old spin this like, you feel unlucky, punk, as I'm gonna fucking aim and fire at this thing. Oh, fuck, I forgot to put the +2.
Okay, well, reroll then.
Yeah. +2. There you are.
Do you want to push?
I'll push. Push it.
Rip. Okay, so that's 3 damage on it. Let's see how much of its hide withstands. Okay, so it soaks some of the damage, but it takes most of it, so it takes pretty good hit. Okay, very nice. So that would be your turn. Evelyn will I guess, move up and like move over here. So she will use her. She has a number of weapons. She will use her underbarrel incinerator unit, I guess. So does she have a talent for it? No, and she moves, so she's not aiming. So it's just a flat roll. Ooh, 2 successes. So, I can't mark that as private or reveal to ever. Okay. Okay. So 2 damage base. Armor versus fire. So I'll roll that armor first. So he takes 3, and then roll /R. What's the fire intensity of that fucking thing? Fire intensity 7. Okay. 7 Delta Bravo. Oh, and then extra fire success, so he potentially is getting burned again. Yep. So now this thing is on fire and is really fucking mad. And yeah, that's Evelyn's turn. Johnny is going to so he looks over to, like always wanting to impress the ladies. He looks over to Ren and says, "Hey, watch this!" And he moves up ahead and is going to like barrel roll around the corner and like hip fire his pulse rifle like fucking Tug Speedman. Where is that gif actually? Because I
And
have that
Norgus
book.
stick his foot out and trip him as he runs by.
Why?
Stop being a show off.
So, well, no, he makes it around the corner and he's
Why?
going to
If it's funny.
fire. Well, that's why, because he hit. So he hits this thing. Damage 2. Let me do armor piercing. And okay, it takes the full damage. So yeah, he turns to everybody else and is like, "Check it out, this is how you do it." Okay, that's Johnny's turn. So now Gunny Horgust. Yeah. So as a reminder, yeah, Summer has 5 stress.
I can't do summer
Oh, okay.
because it's short, and I thought short was the next thing, but when you said about the thing, I realized, oh, I'm not in the right
Right.
spot. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Arthur instead to get
Okay.
him out of his panic.
Okay.
What is that? Counselor that uses
Well, doesn't Counselor take like a full
man.
turn to do? Like, is it in a safe spot? Or actually, no, no,
Nope.
no, no, hold on, I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Once per turn, you can use the command skill to reduce the stress level of another character within short range. For each success, you roll their stress levels reduced to 1 extra
Yeah.
step, in
Now,
addition to the default 1 step.
keep in mind that command to snap him out of his panic is a different thing entirely.
Well, if I reduce his stress, doesn't it pop him out of panic automatically?
No, it just reduces his stress. Those are 2 separate things. So let me just check the actions because I think it's a I think it's a slow action to use command to snap you out of panic. And then does that counselor talent say whether it's a fast or slow action? I would assume it's a slow.
It's just once per turn.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't do both. So I'll pop him out of his panic.
Okay, so
'Cause that's worse than
yeah. So all right, then do a command roll to stop his panic.
all right.
Okay, so you snap him out of his panic. So Arthur, you are no longer panicking. Remove the tremble effect.
So Arthur, Horgus yells at Arthur. All right, that was a perfect guard. Now there's another one. Go get it. Now that we're all covered in goo
Yeah.
from his shovel.
So
And then I will command Summer to Take care of the last one. Right at this command, right?
Yeah, that's another command roll.
Ah, the hell with it. We're already strapped to shit, so I'll push that for more successes. Because, hopefully it'll be over.
Damn.
Well, it was worth a try.
Sorry, only one success.
Yeah,
But at
but
least
still.
I didn't stress myself anymore.
Okay. All right, so that is a whatchamacallit, and that gives you +1 summer to your attack on it.
Yep. So that would be a +5, including the hitter and weapon
Yeah.
specialist.
Yep. So
Holy shit!
all right, roll your panic.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, that's a good roll, though.
That is seek cover. The question is, does that mean you automatically fail?
No, it's your next action. So the action would still happen.
Okay.
But her next action after this would be to dive for cover.
If you have an enemy at each range, your stress level is decreased. Stress level of all friendly PCs in short range increases by 1.
Alright, so everybody's
to
one
one,
is
yeah.
stress. But let me just double check the
Why
whatchamacallit.
was one at least? I
Yeah.
guess.
Let
Wait,
me just,
no,
I
it
just want to
automatically made
double
me
check the panic
one.
thing because I could have sworn if it was like 10 or above, you like your action is canceled, but I just want to check. So, if you roll a 10 or higher on a panic result, you will be forced to perform a specific action. If the panic result was the result of a skill check for an action, the action is canceled, immediately replaced by the forced panic action, even if you rolled, success. So yeah, you do actually technically fail. That like it's specifically saying
Shit.
you retreat. So you do fail. And you are allowed to make a retreat roll if there is an enemy in engaged range. So that is mobility, I think.
Okay.
Let me just see because I don't want to make a wrong call. So let's see, close combat.
But she
Where is?
rolled a 1.
But she
So
had 5 stress, and like basically she rolled. If she rolled a 6, and 6 plus 5 is 11. Actually, that begs a question, Summer. Do you have nerves of steel?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, you might want to get that at some point.
Yeah.
So retreat. Okay, you have to make a mobility roll to move away from short range. If you fail, you still move, but the enemy gets a free close combat attack against you. Okay. So roll mobility.
Yep.
All right, so you get away without incident. So your seek cover, I would say you maybe move like to you like hide behind Evelyn, I guess. I don't fucking know. Save me. Okay, so that was Summer's turn, and
I got a question.
what's up?
Now I'm confused, and I'm trying to figure. This is probably why I get so pissed off with panic. So it's not what your stress is plus your roll. It's 2 times what your panic is plus your roll.
No, it's so you roll a d6 and you add how much stress you have. She rolled a 6 and she has 5 points of stress, so 6 plus 5 is 11.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's double what your stress level is plus your die roll. That's what it actually is. That's why when you get over 2, it's you're stressing the whole team. That that yeah,
So
that's what I don't like.
um
That's why stress is so stupid.
so anyway, right in this case, decides, she moves up and she realizes that, she has pacifistic ideals against humans, but this thing is decidedly not human, so she's going to fucking shoot it, especially to save, the closest thing she has to family. So, she gets a +2 from her weapon specialist, and is not a fighter, so she misses. So, unfortunately, she misses. I'm not going to roll for like hull breach or anything because you guys are the inside of the, like the heart of the room that you're in. So, she messed up. But the good news is I just need to double check fire because this thing did catch fire, and it might actually burn out and die. So let me look. Other hazards. Fire is somewhere in here. Fire. At the start of each new round. Okay, so this thing is going to have a whale of a time. So it sees Ohio Jones in front of him and is going to move into engage range with a fast action. Oh, I didn't mean to cover. Well, he would do that anyway. So he's in engage range with you, and is going to attack you. So let's see what he can
Good
do.
old me.
Yeah,
Oh.
you've got
Good
two
old
faces for him to
me.
fuck.
That's so. That doesn't make it sound any better.
Yeah. So he basically like rises above you, and yeah, make a panic roll.
Oh, here we go. Now we're just gonna double up everybody else now.
Nope. So, okay, so that was
Fucking who
its
the fuck you think he was?
first. Well, what are you like? Did you say you were like cock shaming him or something?
And I said, who the fuck he thought he was? I was like,
Oh, I
what the
thought you
fuck?
said something about his
Intimidate.
noodle. Okay, but because it has another turn
Gonna-
back to, it does have another turn back to back, so it is going to attack you again. Why isn't LME's fucking cycle the turn order? There we go. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so it's going to attack again. Let's see what it gets. Oh my god, again? What the fuck?
Go on, bitch.
Okay, but now we're at the start of round 2, and it takes fire damage, so I gotta roll its armor against fire, and it fucking burns potentially to death, so I'm gonna roll its crit.
Bro, imagine trying to intimidate Two-Face Tobias and then just immediately die to fire. Whatever.
So, okay, it is mortally wounded, contorts
Whatever.
wildly. It's like it's flailing around. There's fire on its tentacles. Ah! And on its next initiative, it'll try to kill. Yeah, so you guys can see that. So that's what it's going to do. But you'll probably kill it before that. So, Martin, as a reminder, you, based on what I said to Two-Face earlier, you don't currently have a line of sight on this, so you would have to move up in order to see it and shoot it.
And that's what I do.
Okay. So, and like before, you can't aim, so it's just a +4. Oh my god. Okay, well,
Yeah, I
it's
would say the same thing.
yeah, it's dead. Slaughtered. Okay, so um yeah, and yeah, end combat, so you guys have fucking, annihilated these two squid creatures, or like starfish things. And by the way, a fun treat, because this is actually pretty funny. This is your reward for surviving. So, in terms of, they have containment and termination protocol on this thing sheet. This goddamn thing is huge and hard to kill. Try not to get too close to it. If one of those thick tentacles grabs you good, it will either snap your neck or line you up and ram a meter long by 12 centimeter thick phallus down your throat. If you're lucky, you'll pass out from the pain before this thing lays its massive bulk over you, pumps you full of its genetic payload, dies. You know what? Fuck this thing. Napalm the son of a bitch.
Jesus.
That's what it says in the book. I just love it. You know
Wow.
what? Fuck this thing.
Before it fucks you,
Yeah.
apparently.
So Horgus
Yeah,
says,
apparently.
everybody back in the airlock. Because now we have to sit here and counsel ourselves for 20 minutes to get rid of our stun, or how long it takes to get rid of.
Yeah, it's
stun.
well, now here's the thing though. You do have Evelyn has banter, so that would remove two two stress per turn instead of one, and Gunny Horgus, you can do your counselor to like reduce
I
extra
also have
stress for one.
banter.
You have what?
I also have banter.
Well, I mean, it only works if like you don't. It does the effect doesn't multiply. So I mean, I guess narratively you can use it. If you guys want to actually have any banter, you are free to do so. Just determines, do you want to wait for 10 minutes or 20? Like, because basically you with Kronk and Evelyn, you reduce 2 stress per turn ever instead of 1. And also remember, your signature items can bump off a point of stress. So, for example, in the case
And
of Summer, like you
Yeah, no,
had
she's using hers.
good call.
While she's huddled there, probably shaking.
and Arthur's down more than 4, right?
He's at 3. So if you wait for 20
So we'll
minutes, then
just
he
wait 20 minutes
okay.
and clear it.
So you all pile back into the airlock, and I would say, and I'll leave the tokens there. But here's something very very interesting that happens, and I would say that you like nothing attacks you, and I'm not going to give you a point of stress for it in this case. But is anybody looking out the airlock, at the whatchamacallit, at the dead, like, or like looking in the direction that you guys were in, like just to keep eyes out?
Yeah, ran him
Okay.
with her 12 dice.
Yep. So yeah, I'll just have her do an observation roll then.
'Cause she's probably interested in how these things burn and die.
Oh yeah. So 2 successes. So she'll um she'll do an autopsy of the like that wasn't the thing on Cuddles. So here's what I'll do, because this will actually reduce stress as well. So she has analysis, and if she succeeds, it reduces the stress level of everybody in short range by 1. So she will do observation on, but she does get a -2 because of Harvester Arthur slaughtering the one thing with his shovel. So yeah, so okay, so 2 successes. So and what I'll say is for in the case of Gunny Horgus, because you're her essentially commanding officer, um for every success you roll, you get to ask the GM one of the questions below. Is it human or alien? Is it dead or alive? How old is it? What is its purpose? How does it work? What problems could it cause? And I'm willing to say that if you have any like additional questions about it, you can ask. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be one of the 6 that I read.
Well, when you say is it an alien, classify what that means. Is it because it's not an actual one of the
Xenomorphs.
crazy xenomorphs? Is that what it's asking?
Well,
Or is there different classifications of aliens in this?
there are. So
Okay. So what kind of alien is it?
so Rena, as she's examining it and going over some files, she mentions that um these things are apparently from what company reports documented that were first hinted at in the David transmissions. Um, this creature is from a similar development of the xenomorph life cycle, as in, like, this is the equivalent of a different sort of strain of xenomorph, like hive, equivalent to a facehugger. Like, this is essentially a proto facehugger kind of deal.
So they would come from. So we have to be on the lookout for more of these face huggers from before, right? Or are they going to look different? Or
Well, she says that based on the 2 that were just killed, um, it is highly unlikely, and especially because where she just said that the David transmissions combined with, like, company reports of, like, very very sparse discoveries of, like, these things, um, that I mean, it borders on being undocumented, but she kind of dug deep in the files that she had access to, and says that there are definitely more of these things out there. She will. Now she does say she doesn't necessarily know, according to company files and her own experience, she doesn't know where they come from, but she knows that these two things are not like unique exceptions that just kind of appeared here specifically. Like they've existed elsewhere. Like
Okay.
they've existed as early as like the 2090s.
Alrighty.
So that was one question, and what is your other one? Because she got 2 successes.
Um, can she? So if they work like face huggers, how old are they? Let's find out how long they've been here.
Um,
Because they would eat, they would land on a face and then produce this, right? Is that what she's saying?
well, no, what she's saying is that, um, she doesn't have like the complete, like, so let me put it this way. So, courtesy of working in a facility that bred xenomorphs, Rena knows the whole xenomorph life cycle. This is not part of it. This is part of something parallel to that. Like, this is basically like, um, kind of, what she refers to as the proto hive, um, that like this thing is akin to a facehugger in terms of the life cycle of whatever other forms of the proto hive there are.
How are they produced?
That is technically a separate question, so she doesn't. I'll say she doesn't have the answer to that. Which I mean, she wouldn't have the answer to it anyway.
Well,
So
you
you get
asked what kind of question I want to know about the creature. How's it produced?
well. That what I'm saying that there. She got 2 successes, so that's 2 questions. So the first
Right.
question was basically like, what kind of alien is this? And the second question was like, um, where I believe you asked how old is it? So those are 2 questions.
Well, that's fine. How old? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So and the good news is because she succeeded, everybody recovers an additional point of stress.
Alrighty.
So
But do
that
we know how old it is?
Stress do we recover?
so if you're waiting for 20 minutes, a combination of banter from Kronk and Rena doing analysis would recover 5 stress.
Be
So everybody should be at
fine.
0. Um, in terms of the other observation roll I did, um, Rena is looking out the, like she's taking glances out the window just to kind of keep watch while everybody is relaxed, and she quietly, um, directs, like she looks to Horgust and says, "Commander Armel, you might want to take a look at this."
All right, but
And
how old are they? You
well,
never answered the question. How
well,
old they
I
are?
mean, well, hold, let me. Okay, so when you say how old are they, that can be interpreted 2 ways. Like how old have they been known about, or how old is this particular specimen?
How old is this person? I'm trying to figure out how long they've been in the state of
Oh,
taking
okay,
information.
okay, I understand. Okay, sorry. This thing is, um, definitely a few like, this particular one was actually like a few days old.
Okay.
So sorry about that. I misinterpreted the question. Um,
Okay.
so, but anyway, so Rena, she points out, you may want, Commander Horgus, you may want to take a look at this. Um, and she
I
ushers
look.
you over to the window, and you actually see, uh, something very humanoid, but decidedly not human, actually walk out from like the north corridor and take a look at the dead, uh, squid baby thing. It looks at it for several seconds and then just turns and starts walking away.
I look at Ren and go, "What the hell is that?"
She slowly turns towards you and she says, I don't know. I have never seen such a thing before.
That'd be
And
the
it went up.
Yeah, it was basically going north. It doesn't seem to have
Uh,
noticed you. It's just like it was drawn to the sound of the commotion and came over to look and then just fucked off.
do you want to study it? I'll look
Uh,
around.
well, the problem is that studying it is something that. So her analysis talent. Let me just double check. Analysis. Uh, you can roll observation to gain insight, yada yada yada, and get a chance to study for at least one turn. She saw it for a couple of seconds, so she cannot study it now.
I'm asking, does she want a body to study?
She says that given that we don't know what that thing is or if it's even hostile, we might not want to necessarily go in guns blazing, especially if we don't know there or if there are more whatever that thing is, and if they're, um, if it's, I mean, because it is obviously alien, but it is very humanoid, so it might not even be hostile. She says that I genuinely don't know how to proceed here because
Do you
all
have a picture of what it like? I mean, how much of it is human and how much of it is other?
I'm looking for a picture of it right now because I do have a whatchamacallit, everything. I'm just trying to fucking find it.
Orcus would be like, we're taking it down. I mean, really? I don't want to talk to this thing.
Yeah, see my previous joke, a rock and roll NRA, because that's Horgust in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, this is no. Why would I? No. Does anybody else want to talk to this thing, or are you all in the same boat that it needs to go
I
down?
think that is an excessively bad idea.
I think we should fuck it to death.
That's what I think. I need to. Why would I want to talk to this thing?
I don't really
Again,
know what.
Hey, how are you doing? What did you do last night?
Yeah,
You know,
no,
maybe it
we're-
wants
Yeah,
to.
no, it's
Maybe
fine.
it wants to take us to dinner first, at least.
No, it's what comes after that she wants to do.
well, maybe we could get to the hallway and tell it to freeze, and if it goes, "Rah!" we just shoot it.
Yeah. So by the way, this is a full body view of. I mean, not necessarily the best art, but this is from the book. This is what you basically saw. Very Giger-esque humanoid.
Oh, did you put it in Steel Talon chat?
Yeah, I can't put it in the Foundry chat,
Oh
but this
god,
is what you
killing
see.
fire.
What?
Yeah,
Killing
like
Okay.
I
fire, please.
really. I'm surprised you didn't tell me to take a stress.
So
Hard
can I
pass.
just charge it with the shovel and beat it to death?
Yeah, let's just
That'd
go.
be
We're gonna.
Ew.
I turn around to the guys and say, we've got a, something out there that's kind of human-y, alienish thing. It just checked out the dead bodies and it's starting heading north. Let's go.
Oh God.
Oh god, wait, I thought it was tied up. Oh no. Why were we going into this thing? Why do we keep following it?
In other words, Batman, we know where this is going.
Um.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Oh
That's
man.
what it says.
I know. Um.
So Hargus moves to here, and I'm hoping. Oh,
Now,
I gotta go through the damn door.
here's the interesting thing though. As you're stepping out of the airlock, so when you get to there, Gunny, um, this is about the point where actually well when you're like here, out of this like chute, there are actually like a squad of fucking androids comes out. Like as you're starting to come out of the airlock, basically these guys like they're not necessarily setting up a barricade of sorts, but like they come up, and they see you, and I need to double check what they do because it is a narrative event. So, hold
In
on.
there. I know I should have gone around the side.
Well, that ship has sailed. Um, so
I
the
know.
androids, they
The only
have
reason I did that is so I had range to tell it to stop.
yeah. So, um, yeah, it's like stop right there. I'm going to use the Second Amendment on you. So these androids are armed with a mix of shotguns and stun batons, and naturally the sight of the latter makes Rena freeze up and start kind of breathing heavily.
Yep.
So she takes a few steps back and she kind of hides behind Two-Face and Summer, and the androids basically ask like identify You are not registered personnel. Or they have more
Um,
like a working Joe voice than like stereotypical robots, but
yeah, I pretty much tell them the truth. I go, I'm Commander Horgus Darmel of the Steel Talons. We tried to communicate with the tower, with the station, and um, whatever technical science term happened that caused us to crash into the tower. Um, our ship is now stuck on the power relays outside, and we still received nothing. So we came in to check out what's going on, and we just killed these things.
so the
What's
androids
going on?
uh they like the working Joes, they say, uh please follow me. We will take you to Warden Stykes for questioning. And they start to turn. So the question is, are you going? I mean, well, there are two that are keeping an eye on you, but two of them start turning. So, are you going to cooperate, or are you going to? Because they are
Um,
offering to take you
I'm
to somebody who has answers.
Yeah, so I start walking and ask him who is Warden. What was the dude's name?
Stykes.
Stykes. Who is Warden Stykes? And I ask him. We just saw some creature go that up that way, and describe it. What is that?
And the working Joes, ever so insightful, they just say unidentified alien organism.
Should we
And
take that out before we go see the Warden?
they don't have an answer for that. You get the sense that these working Joes, so working Joes, um, generally aren't the sharpest tacks in the package, but these ones in particular seem very like most working Joes have like even though they're not very even though they're not very smart, they still have kind of more sophisticated vocabulary. But these guys are speaking like stereotypical robots, kind of like very like
Yeah,
fragmented, terse like sentences, like
yeah, they're like
A couple
loader
of bricks
people that
short of
don't
a
really
full
have.
Lego set.
yeah,
So when I step to here, do I see the stupid thing up here?
no,
So it's already gone.
it's already gone.
And what is up there?
Up there, that is an observation deck. That there's a big window there that you can look out into space.
Well, where else
Speaking
would
of
she have
which,
gone
I
then?
am actually, well, I mean, there is another airlock, and there's also the stairwell and stuff. But what I need to do actually, is I need to double check a thing because I almost forgot. So, first of all, because there are a couple, now that you guys have been on the station for a good amount of time, there are some things that need to be addressed, and also Horgus Token is under these fucking guys. So, please bear with me. I'm just trying to go through all these fucking notes because I got basically like 3 things of notes that I have to consult.
Yep.
Um, okay, so Gunny Horgus, I am going to be adding something to your sheet in the skills section. Uh, and yeah, let me make sure this is the right fucking thing. So, uh, yeah, so there's that. So
Okay.
I mean, if you click on that and read it, I mean, hopefully you see what I posted. Like you get that kind of vibe. And if you want to describe it, you can, or just keep it to yourself. So while you're doing that, and then the other thing I need to do is, where is the table for NDDs? The situation, logical to start. Okay, so I need to roll. Everybody, roll me a d6. Okay, so that's Summer. That is Arthur. Gunny Horgus. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now I just need Two-Face.
So you
Pardon?
didn't fall asleep again, did you?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Please don't.
Ghost!
He's muted.
I
I
know!
am. What are you guys talking about?
Well, we kept asking you and you weren't answering.
What?
Roll me a d6.
You're-
Roll d6.
Okay. Specific.
Cody, I private messaged you what I'm doing.
I saw. Okay.
I got a
Um,
2.
so, okay, so you got to do so. In the case of Summer, kind of like with Gunny Horgust, I have something to add to your sheet. If you look under skills, I'm adding it now, and I will text you something.
Uh-oh.
All right, there you go. So I just sent you a DM. Okay, so with that resolved, I'm sorry for how long that took, but again,
Weird shit.
yeah, the Heart of Darkness is a very complex scenario, very interesting, but um, you've got that going on, and then
The fuck
Horgus,
is that?
in terms of your question for Rena, we'll get to that in a bit. But so you're saying you are going to cooperate with the androids and head down to where Stykes is?
Yeah, if I don't see the creature.
Yeah, the creature has fucked off for now. And
She's lucky.
yeah. Um, so let me just double check something. And so where is my notes? Okay, so I think he was on, okay, the warden's office on deck F. So where is deck F? Do I have that map open? I fucking typical me, I don't. So view or toggle navigation. Just give me a sec, guys, because I mean, so many maps in this fucking thing. So
And when we go down this tube thing, stair thing, are the doors solid doors or are they doors with windows
um,
at each
so
level?
these doors, they're like standard like airlock style door. Well, not airlock doors, but like doors that have a little window and then so you can open them up. This chute. This is actually like a zero G thing that you can float down. Like it's not a giant ladder. It's like a gravity chute that you glide down and up. So
Oh, okay.
so let me just amass all the tokens. Give me a moment.
Because I would like to take the time and look at each deck as we go down and see what is there. If there's any more of these crazy ass creatures.
Well, remember that the lighting in this place is not necessarily the best. Um, so you can't really see out more than, or like in terms
That's
of
fine.
detail. Like I'm just letting you know the situation.
Right. I just want to make sure there's nothing right outside of
Yeah.
these doors
So I'm not going
as
to
we
move the
clear
map
down.
over yet, but basically what's going to happen is well, actually, fuck it, I will move the map, but I won't move the working Joes, and there's a reason why. So you get to deck F, which I just need to configure lighting, token vision off, um, activate that. So, okay, so you guys are in this causeway, like this corridor, as you're heading to, like, you make it to down here, and I need to check a little something, something. Where the hell was, there it is. So, and this encounter is more of a narrative thing, but so as you are, like, the androids are, starting to turn the corner, and all of a sudden, basically, they are fucking bum rushed by prisoners and shot at. And I would say that, so the androids, so narratively, because I'm not going to roll like a giant NPC combat, they're basically fucking all shot dead. And so now all of a sudden there is, hold on, wait, what the hell happened? Oh, I moved half the party and I didn't move the other half, SMH. But either way, just know that everybody's together. So Yeah, all of a sudden now you guys, the 8 of you, are in this room with 7 convicts who are armed, and uh, a guy who seems to have a leader sort of looked at him like a pretty big dude, sort of approaches you guys and is saying, who the hell are you? Uh, what are you doing here?
Um, Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I had myself muted. I was in the bathroom. Um, I will say I'll have a confused look on my face and be like, "Wait a minute, where's the warden and what are you guys doing out?"
And uh, he says that, I guess you could say, you know, like the situation here is now one of disorder and despair. Um, given the circumstances, he says,
Why
alluding
don't you
to.
explain this
Well,
circumstances?
he says that, I won't, but I'll take you to somebody who can. And he basically says, like Terminator style, come with me if you wanna live. Flow Wicks wishes to speak with their visitors on deck H.
And that's back up.
No, deck H is below you. Deck H is the deck
Oh,
that you
okay.
crashed on. So,
Is there like a sense motive in this game or anything like that?
um, they're actually hold on, let's delete these tokens so I can paste the whole fucking gang. Another thing with Rena. Rena has group psychology. Um, so you understand what drives pack behavior and how people tend to function as a group. With a successful observation role, you can predict the short-term attitude or behavior of a group of people. You get to ask the GM a question about their group, and they must offer you some insight, more detail with extra successes into what they are going to do as a group. So that is the closest thing I know of to what you're describing, like sense motives.
Can she roll it?
Yeah, she'll roll it. Oh my! Look at that.
Holy Christ. I'll just with that many successes, dude. Why don't you just tell me what I need to know?
All right, well, ask away.
uh, um, are they? All right. First of all, are they telling the truth?
They are like this guy who's talking to you is being honest. He isn't trying to lure you in a trap. You get the sense that these guys they seem very on edge, unhinged, actually kind of afraid. Um, but they have pretty strong, like the strong nerve, like strong-willed, and the very fact is potentially they could have attacked you and um like
Died.
well, I mean, no, it's even numbers and they have like guns that electrocute you, so it actually they might have had a good chance, but the point is that if they wanted to kill you they would have, but this guy is saying, yeah, I'll take you to somebody named Flo Wicks. He doesn't seem hostile towards you, so he is telling the truth.
Okay.
Like he isn't like trying to lure you into a trap. I mean, well, yeah, so
Okay. Any other questions anybody want to ask here
yeah,
about
yeah.
that?
I mean, yeah, you can get extra PC input.
What kind of station is this?
Well, I mean, so what kind of station this is? Well, this question, well, technically the question is mainly about like asking like this is about the demeanor of the group, not necessarily asking them questions. It's just basically trying to figure out their motives, if they're being
Okay.
honest, what they know, kind of deal. So, and this guy and the leader of this little band of prisoners is saying that he is willing to take you to somebody who can explain better than he can.
Can we tell what kind of level of prisoners they are? Like, are they like hardcore murderers, robbers?
Seeing as you don't have the direct like you I mean you don't you don't have you don't exactly have personnel files on like Bobby Joe over here was arrested for rape kind of deal. Um, so
Right, but do they look like heavy tattoo, uh,
yeah, like oh I see
eye
what you mean, like
drop
big thugs
tattoos?
versus yeah, like so I mean
Yeah.
some of these guys do, some of them don't. Like it's sort of a
Okay, so
mix
it's a
between
mix.
yeah. Like there's some people who look like big menacing thugs who could have easily committed murder, and then there are other guys who look like, it's just somebody who tried to fucking commit embezzlement and got thrown in jail kind of deal.
I'm gonna ask. I don't. If nobody has anything else, I'll just take that because I don't know what else to ask from prisoners more than what we. I'm gonna ask her where's the warden because the warden was supposed to be here, right, on this level.
Well, he doesn't. This guy doesn't know that. The androids told you he was on this deck, but this guy and his people don't actually know where the warden is. So you might. I mean, if you want to tell him, you can, but that might not be the best option. Because chances are, if he knew where the warden was, he would kill them, or he would kill the warden.
No, I'm asking them where the warden is.
If you're asking the prisoner, that's what I'm saying. They don't know.
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to
Because the
confirm.
guy says that if we knew where he was, that we would fucking storm the station and kill him.
Do you guys know about these weird aliens?
He says that, we've encountered a couple of them, you know, various different, uh, different encounters, but he cuts himself off. Either way, we need to get out of here, especially if, the gunshots might lure in more. And he starts to turn. He says it's in your best interest to follow. And so he and his like thugs, start heading towards the nearest lift down.
Okay.
So I mean, and like I
And
said, they
as
are
we're
not.
traveling, we could
Yeah,
still continue talking, right?
yeah. You can still continue talking. Like I'm gonna.
How
I'll
many
say
of
this.
them are there?
How many of these prisoners? There are 7.
I know, but how many are where we're going?
Oh, how many people? How many prisoners are into the place you're going? Um, he says that there is the de facto leader of this little of the remaining prisoners. He says we're located in the starboard machine room. There's Flo, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 others. So
So
Flo,
there's
so a
18
total of
of them.
12 people in the 12 people that are in the machine room, and then 7 guys here, like the 7 guys that encountered you.
Yep. Okay.
So it's a total of, if I did my math right, I think 19 prisoners still alive.
Alrighty. So I guess we'll follow.
Okay. Does anybody want to have any kind of RP or dialogue on your way there?
Did they say how long they've been out and about for, or
These guys didn't.
okay? I'll ask them that question then.
The lead guy says, honestly, I don't know by this point, because he says that um, he hasn't been keeping track of time. It's kind of hard to do when you're in fucking prison on a desolate space station in the middle of nowhere. And especially so after, oh God, I hate to give myself PTSD, but after the power outage, um, and yeah, he says, like, bottom line, by this point, there's no telling.
Well, so why are you guys here then? Like, what did you guys do?
And the guy, let me see if he actually, if it actually mentions like what he did. I
Can
think.
I, as Two-Faced Tobias, say something?
Well, let me figure out what.
Well, it was mostly towards the question more than the answer.
Well, let me answer Summer's question first. So this guy actually, it does say what he was convicted for. Uh, he says, let's just say, I've killed some people and the law caught up to me. So implicitly, he's
Okay.
saying he's a fucking murderer.
Never mind, it's less funny now.
What kind of people? Like bad people or just random people?
Are you asking him that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of subject to your definition of morality. Like he says that he doesn't see anything wrong with killing people because people die eventually. Um, and the generic, red shirts following him just kind of, I mean, they're not especially talkative, but you'll have one woman here who mentions something she did, and eventually the others kind of pipe up. But it's not like a massive group conversation because everybody's keeping their heads on a swivel to make sure they don't get jumped.
Mhm.
So there's that. Oh, you're right. I gotta switch the map back over. There we go. Is there anything anybody else would want to say?
Uh, who we gonna go see?
I mean, he already said Flo Wicks.
Right, but who is Flo Rex?
He
Is
says
he
that.
like the leader of the gang or
Well, he
the?
says that she is um, the de facto, like she's the leader of the prison gang.
Okay.
Like he says that she was the one who kind of rallied everybody to break out and has been sort of our leader. So,
And what's your plans?
well, he said that he was like the guy says that he's going to ask you about that, but he'll also he'd rather save it to when Wix is present. Um, yeah, in terms of because like that's a conversation that everybody should overhear. So he
Oh,
doesn't
so she
really
wants to ride off of this base.
he was saying yes, actually that would help. Um, but anyway, so the reason I'm asking in terms of anybody wants to talk, like you could talk among yourselves, not just to the prisoners, and that includes talking to allied NPCs.
Yeah, too many people around for what I want to do.
Okay. Fair enough. So in that case, we'll fast forward um, to the factory complex. So it's where you're going is right here. I'm not going to bother moving all the fucking tokens now. Um, so you get um, into this little layer, and let me just check because there is a pretty interesting description the the place. Let me just find that real quick. Deck H, starboard. Okay. Um, so basically, when you get there, you see this room, this like machine room that is covered in lit candles, and when you get there, you see um, the guy that you're talking to, like that has been escorting you. He says, "Yo, Wix, we have visitors," and so he says that to this right here. This old lady is Wix, and she turns to look at you and has a pretty you know haggard kind of appearance to her, and says, um, she starts rambling, like she doesn't even like ask you uh for your names or anything. She just starts saying like why have you come here? Are you our promised salvation?
Uh, well, possibly. Why don't you at least tell us what's going on here so we can see what we can do to help you?
So Wix says, like, she starts rambling, saying, "Oh, this whole mess is Warden Stike's fault." And he says, among the many injustices he's responsible for, including towards me, he brought the meteor aboard the station. He's the reason why the inhabitants of the station are in grave danger. And uh, she says to you that, um, you know, with your firepower, you were like, you know, noticing like the fucking like smart guns and all the other stuff that you guys have, saying that you know you're the divine intervention I've prayed for. I want your help to help me take Warden Stykes hostage and have him shut down the remaining security synthetics. And she says that'll make that'll make the solution much easier to accomplish.
You said meteor, right?
Yes, she said meteor.
Why don't you tell me more about the meteor? And I look at Rena to pay attention to this.
Oh, she is, believe me. Um, so Wix, when she mentions the meteor, she says that, um, you know, Stykes and his, you know, his crew of dipshits, alluding to like the station crew, like not actually like the security force, but just like the fucking, you know, like service crew aboard the station. Um, she says that you know those idiots. At one point there was um, this large meteor-like object. She doesn't know, like she describes it as a meteor. She doesn't necessarily know if it actually is. Um, but basically, she's saying like you know it like he brought it aboard the station, and it in turn brought death with it.
Do you know where this meteor is?
She says that it was brought in from what she has heard. She has not been up there, but she heard that it was actually brought on deck G in in one of the hangars. So there's a starboard hangar deck and a port hangar deck, and it's in one of those two.
You said G, right?
Deck G, yes. So deck G, so a deck above you is where the so-called meteor is.
And what happened after the meteor was brought on and I guess there was a power outage? How quick did that happen? And where is everybody?
Um, she says that you know, as far as she knows, I mean, aside from the warden, uh, and potentially, you know, other people, she says that, um, the, whatchamacallit, like, her little fucking cult of prisoners, are the only people that she knows with certainty are alive, and they've basically been, like, you know, she says that, Cecil over there, alluding to the big, like, brute of a guy who was escorting you. She says Cecil was like he's been leading like raid parties to scour the station for resources, um, and you know mentions that it's been a very dangerous proposition, especially as our numbers dwindle and theirs increase. I love the silence that follows that statement for some reason.
No, I'm trying to think what else to ask.
Well, if you don't have any other questions, Rena will pipe up.
Yeah, she can ask.
Okay,
I'm thinking of some other shit.
um, so Rena speaks up and says, "Excuse me, ma'am. What was the solution you spoke of?" And Wix says that thanks to Stike's incompetence within the station is a menace unlike anything man has ever imagined or encountered. She says if they manage to find a way to escape this system, humanity will be but a memory to the perfected, and thus Wix plans to destroy them however she can. And she's saying that the problem is that Stike's androids, due to their numbers, they're a problem, especially because Wix can't afford to fight a two-front war against Stykes and the Perfected.
Uh, would you agree to an alliance to work together to get off this hub and make sure it gets sucked into the black hole?
And she says, oh, most definitely. If you can actually get us out of here, um, that would be most useful. But she says though before that though, we do need to destroy this station to make sure the Perfected can't escape.
I agree, but I am talking with the warden also.
And she says, don't trust that bastard. He's manipulative, and he betrayed me for starters, and he's responsible for all the shit that's happening now. So, I would not be at all inclined to want to cooperate with him.
Well, I would need to talk with him and understand that he's have dealt with people like this, but I don't know how many is with him, and I don't want to pass judgment on all the other people with him just because of him.
And she says, well, suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Do you know where I could find him to speak with him?
And um, she says that she's been Wix has been trying to figure that out herself, because she says that if I knew where he was, I would have killed him already.
Are you planning to stay here for now?
It's the only place that we know with certainty is safe. It's where we're all clustered. She says gather, spreading her arms to all the convicts around her and saying, we're all here. Our numbers are basically our concentrated numbers in this spot are the only things keeping us not only hidden from the warden and from all these creatures on the station, but also just keeping us alive in general.
Are we free to leave to go talk with the warden?
Yeah, she says that. I mean, you're not being held prisoner. Like you can walk
Okay.
out anytime you want.
I ask her, does she know? Or I'll look at the big muscular dude. I said, hey, during your scouting, have you come across batteries, large batteries?
And the guy says, no, I haven't.
I tell him
Well,
that to keep his eye out for them. We need large batteries.
I would say I want somebody in the group, I guess, I'll make it a group observation, and I'll just pick who sees it at random. So whoever has the highest observation in the group, which honestly, if you wanted to be Rena, we can do that.
It's
Um,
probably Rena, isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Um, so she'll roll, and I'll say one PC sees it. Okay, so she sees. So I would say, so who all is focused on, who is in the zone kind of listening to Wix and talking with, Horgus and stuff, and who all is actually, looking around the room?
Summer would be looking.
Okay, Summer, and I happen, and if I remember correctly, you had pretty good observation, so I think it makes sense that you would see this. So you see, so most of these guys don't really stand out, and they seem kind of dull and uninterested. There's actually this guy who's watching you uh, with vested interest. This bloke right here. So
Ooh.
He doesn't say anything, and he doesn't necessarily look like menacing or like ready to try to jump you or something. But you like he's kind of there's something about this guy that just stands out, like in just his general demeanor and the way he's looking towards you, and he has a bit of a grin on his face, not necessarily like an evil smirk, like like Joker Simmons planning to do something horrifying. Like he actually has like a bit of an like, ooh, this could be to my advantage kind of smirk. So you take notice of that. Um,
Uh, I'll raise an eyebrow to him to essentially just say, I see you.
okay. And he nods to you, and but focusing on Gunny Horgus for a sec. So are there any other questions that you would want to ask Wix while you're here, or alternatively, like through me as an NPC, like playing an NPC, like ask any questions that you forgot that might be of relevance?
Um, I'll ask for where they've been on the station and what they've seen. The
Um,
scouting party.
so the scouting party, Cecil and his gang have mostly been hitting the let's see, where is it? Like prioritizing the like basically storage units, like mess hall type, like galleys and stuff. Like anything that they can raid that has food, medical supplies, and um, food, medical supplies, and whatchamacallit, like like toiletries and stuff like that. So basically anything perishable that they can get their hands on and like hoard here, which I mean you would see like a bunch of crates and like piles of like MREs and fucking toilet paper bundles and all that other shit. Um, and he says like so there isn't any specific um, for the most part the group has avoided because the ironic thing is that the cell blocks are on the same deck that um, unbeknownst to the prisoners at the corrections office um, that the warden's office, like again they don't know that well actually I don't think the warden's office is there, I don't know where the hell it is, um, but the corrections offices, like they've avoided the cell blocks um, because they know that that's probably where the androids are waiting for them.
Okay.
So
And
like
they just got there when we they came upon us at the same time we got there, kind of deal. That were they checking? Were they resourcing the kitchen that's on that level? Whatever.
he so basically in terms of yeah, I would say that these guys were originally like they were so Cecil says that it was you know like we were more or less um kind of scouting the place out, and we you managed to figure out that you were um heading to the like if you were heading towards the corrections office. And as he's saying this, he gets a little bit of a look, like a realization on his face, but he doesn't actually say anything. Um, and he says like, let's just say that we kind of had a hunch of where you were going to be going, and he doesn't elaborate more beyond that. So,
Okay.
any other questions?
You said your NPC said something.
Well, I was gonna say that because there is one critical thing that that Rena as an NPC would have asked, but I mean I would save that for you as a PC if you wanted to ask it.
Go ahead. She can ask.
So a detail that you guys seemingly miss, which is fine. Um, I'll just bring it up anyway because it is important. Um, Rena actually asks Wix that you mentioned someone or something called the Perfected several times, and she says, "What might that be?" And Wix, like by that point, I mean, she already seemed kind of uh, unhinged, like just from the get-go. But like when she starts talking about the perfected, she gets even more worked up and actually is saying, like, describes them as cosmic demons. And then she's saying that they're beings from origins unknown that attempt to transmute humans into their own image. And she says they may seem passive and they may even resemble humans, but they have nothing but evil intentions. And she's just like trembling and like speaking kind of incohesively. And yeah, so how much of that is actually true is subjective, let's just say. But you
Okay.
did get that information from Wix. And yes, if are there any other questions that you would have for Wix?
No. Do they have comms? Is there a way to contact you while we're here?
She says that there are like short range, like hand radios, um, that you could like, assuming there's not much interference, you could potentially use those. Because she says the station has been exposed to a lot of radiation, and out of character, I can't remember if that actually causes problems for like radio static. But either way, I mean, the situation here is such that radio signals kind of sketchy, like as the plot demands kind of deal. So she says, like, if you want to contact me, like, here's my radio frequency, but I can't guarantee that I'll actually be able to answer you.
Okay.
Um, so do any of the other players want to ask any questions or talk to anybody, or do you want to head out?
Did Summer want to talk to the guy that she
Yeah, well, I was
spotted?
gonna say, well, we'll get to that in a sec. Because we're gonna say, like, just be well, Summer just said she's gonna get some food, so. But you
Okay.
guys as a group could talk to him, because I will say it's just a little transparency thing. He is going to want to talk to you. So, okay, well, if you're heading out, then uh, so the guy that Summer spotted before, uh, but nobody else really noticed. He's like, "Hey, come here. I got a proposition that might interest you." And I will note, so just so you understand, so he is like, this is a pretty big room. He's in the, like, he's kind of at the far corner of the room, so if you're whispering, talking kind of quiet, nobody else will hear it, which you get the feeling that's kind of what he's going for.
Okay.
So, do you actually come over when he tries to usher you over?
Yeah. Does he look like a prisoner, or does he look like
He's a prisoner.
somebody else that's attached to them? Okay.
So, he is a prisoner. Um, and he introduces himself. This guy, like, straight up introduces himself as Tommy Mann, and he says, I'm a former Yakuza computer slicer who got thrown in jail after being busted by the Three World Empire, because he was involved with organized cyber crimes in Imperial territory. And then he says that Wayland Yutani bought out my sentence because they wanted to use my skills against their competitors, but I kind of sort of betrayed them, and they sent me here. And he says, anyway, I'll get to the point. I'm assuming that because you arrive here and you're not station personnel, you've got a ship of some kind, and I'll get straight to it. I got $100 million unmarked dollars waiting for me at a secret drop-off point on Anchor Point, and I'll give you 10 million of that if you get my ass off this station at Anchor Point alive in one piece.
And what's your plans after that?
He says that once he collects his money, he's going to kind of like the way he sees it is if like he can potentially either buy himself a new identity or just kind of lay low or do something. Like he said, like, if I get out of here and and assuming you guys are responsible for that, I've got $90 million and that'll really come in handy. And he says that he can, um, especially with the situation at this station being as bad as it is, and potentially if he is listed as like the equivalent of killed in action, um, then nobody's going to be looking for him, which makes it a lot easier on him. So.
Do you know anything else more than what um, he knows?
Um, So do you say that well, in terms of like he says like the situation um with the well, okay, let me put it this way. If you have any questions about uh points of interest, or namely like say where can you find the stuff you're looking for, he can tell you that.
Well,
But first,
we got sidetracked, but our primary mission here is to track down.
the flight recorder.
Wait, I'm sorry.
The flight recorder. That was your original reason for going here.
Right. Yeah. So I would ask him, since he's a slicer, have you seen anything come here that like a derelict ship, or
He says
I mean,
no
why
because
else would it be?
well, he says that, I mean, again, prior to the quote unquote meteor being brought aboard the ship, he's been fucking like locked in jail. So information has been kind of hard to come by. Um, and he says that, in terms of, uh, but he says like, you have a ship, right? Can we just, get the hell out of here, and especially before Wix tries anything? I mean, what are we waiting for?
Well, we're here on a specific mission that we need to locate an item. We have to find this light recorder. But besides that, uh, there was an accident while we were approaching the station, and we need to find some parts in order to be able to get out of here.
Yeah, so he says, God damn it. Frustrated to hear that the ship was, incapacitated, and he's saying like, well, I mean, what kind of parts do you need? Because I might be able to, I've been on some of the scouting runs, and I've seen a few things that, uh, he says like I've seen some things that I didn't loot because we obviously don't fucking have a ship. Uh, but let's say I know my way around. So basically, if you want to ask him where like the parts that the three things you need are, he will tell you.
Okay, that's what I do.
Okay, so he says, in terms of the batteries, um, he says that the starboard capacitors on this very deck could actually do the trick. He says there are hundreds of meters worth of power conduit cables that could be connected to the capacitors and your ship's batteries, and then recharge them to full power within about 6 to 8 hours. Um, as for what I said before about the EVA pods, so he says that um, he doesn't quite know where to find, like, he hasn't seen any of those, but he says that if you were looking for them, uh, decks D and F would probably be your best option for that.
Okay.
And as a reminder, with deck F, um, Tommy doesn't know this, but you learned this from those androids, that deck F is also where the warden's office is.
I know, that's where I want to go now.
And then lastly, for the compression coil, he said you would need to go out into space and do maintenance on the external thrusters to get a coil. He says that doing EVA from decks D, H, and J, like either of those three, is the fastest way to do it.
I asked him, would he be willing to help our tech get all the coils and help her get everything connected?
Well, he says that he would be more than willing to tag along with you. He's saying, you're clearly packing heat and you have a numbers and firepower advantage over most forces on the station. He says that, Wix's party here of escaped convicts will only last so long against the Deacons. I mean, as time passes, their numbers grow while, our numbers dwindle. It's only a matter of time before they rally up and besiege Wix, Stykes, or both.
Yep. This is what I'm planning on doing. See if everybody agrees. Bringing over our React team, leaving them here with Evelyn and this dude, and having them get the batteries charging, because that's 6 hours. And then the rest of us continue moving, go talk to the warden. Does that sound good for everybody else?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So that's the plan, Cody. Call
okay.
over the React team, whatever closest port,
Okay, so the
and we'll
closest
open the
port,
port for them.
yeah. So the closest port for them. Now, I will mention that Tommy does not have a suit. I mean, he'll stay with Evelyn to hook up the capacitors, but he's not going out into space because he'd fucking die. Um, so what he'll do is he and Evelyn will hook up the capacitors on deck H. And the good news is because the capacitors are like legit adjacent to the fucking room that you guys are in, like these capacitors on this line, he can hook up like Evelyn and Tommy can hook up the capacitors, and then the React team can fucking move the whatchamacallit, the fucking cable from the distillery tanks out the airlock and to uh personnel airlock 21 to the Avalanos.
Right, and then cover our tech in case any of these crazy creatures decide to come down to this level.
Yeah. So so it seems like that is the plan. So you guys are going up to deck F.
Yep.
Okay. Um, so what I'll do is I will yeah, so we'll say that the React team is uh kind of like they're at personnel airlock 1 doing all the heavy lifting, like hooking up the fucking cables and stuff, which is obviously going to take a while. You're going to deck F. Are you going through the chute or are you going through one of the ladder junctions?
I would have gone the same way we came down because I know that's the only way. That's the only way I know at this point, right?
Okay, so the junction. So hold on. Does junction? Okay, so that's junction H3. Does H3 open to? Um, that's F7. F7. Is there a
We
fucking?
follow the same way we got here.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck that is, because I mean, I just kind of fast forwarded it to you guys, getting down, because there are a lot of junctions on this fucking crazy ass station. So the nearest one, junction H7. Okay, F7. All right. Okay, I know where you guys are. So, um, you can. I will move you to deck F7,
Okay.
and um, you guys can. I'll delete the prisoners for now, and move you guys to here. And you basically, as you like, you open the hatch and get there. And I need to double check something.
But we're less Evelyn now.
I know. I'll delete her in a sec. I'm just reading up on something.
Okay.
Cell blocks. So, yeah, the fucking when you get up here, you fucking see like you hear like fire burning and screaming, and you fucking see all these androids here. Um, yeah, there are two prisoners that they're fucking throwing into lit flames. Like they're just like disposing of prisoners by fucking chucking them into a cell full of fire.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I would say that gives everybody a point of stress. Like, what the fuck kind of deal. Um, so yeah, they
All right,
see
everything
that.
we've seen, some dudes getting thrown into flames. Shit, we flame half the people we kill anyway. I mean,
I
really, that ain't stressful in my mind. Shit,
I
that
mean,
we see
it's
that in war
still
all the time. I could see something that's not really. That makes me more pissed off than
I had a creature try to fuck me
scared.
to death earlier. This
Yeah,
is
I
the
fought
least
a
concerning thing I've
queen
seen today.
101, dude. You think me seeing two burning dudes is
okay.
gonna make me?
Fine, fuck. All right, all
Come
right,
on,
all right. No stress, because you've let enough
come
people.
on, really? That one I'm fighting
Yeah,
because
it's
that
just
was
an
kind of
android,
weak.
guys.
That's a stress. That's a weak stress one.
Okay, fine.
I would say I would say that the distressing part is that these are droids that are not supposed to be able to hurt humans.
Well, it's like that loading screen
Yeah,
tip
well,
in Alien Isolation. Violence against humans is contrary to synthetic programming, but it doesn't mean they're incapable of doing it.
I
Apparently,
look at the
someone
team and say we need to take these droids out.
is that really our problem, though?
Yeah, because there's 2 humans we can save.
I don't wanna.
Ah, do I
Wait, do you
have
really?
to?
Then I'll say you're worth the stress if you're going to sit here and watch them burn like that. That's
Well, we'll get some popcorn and maybe some marshmallows and
Could host it.
some graham crackers.
But do you not want to rescue these dudes?
They're dead. I
My
mean, you're not
name is
rescuing them.
Napalm.
We're dead.
They're dead.
Oh, so that's why they're chucking them into an incinerator.
Well, no, they were alive, and
You-
then they got thrown in, and now they're dead.
We should probably kill the androids before they kill us. Throw us in there too.
I mean, if that's the plan, if that's what you guys want to do, you can.
Can we intimidate the androids?
No. So,
Would Brenda have gotten a roll to see if they were infested by these stupid aliens?
um, these androids, I will say, um, she's analyzing them, and based on her knowledge of, like, I mean, because she's more of like a, like a scientist, like less of an engineer and more of like studying like xenobiology and all that other stuff.
No, I'm talking to humans. Before we saw them get burnt, the crisp, did they look like they were infected?
No, or at least she wouldn't have been able to tell. Because the problem is like basically like you came up the ladder right as these like you heard screaming, and then right as you got up the ladder, you see the corpses being fucking flung into the room that's on fire. So realistically, it is just not possible to be able to tell that. Like given the split second that you saw them. So
All right, so Horgus is going to tell the robots, you got like 3 seconds to tell me why you just killed those humans in the fire.
and let me just double check because I think there is a specific reason why they do that in the thing. Because that is actually that is an event in this story, and naturally they don't explain why. Well, actually, no, there is a reason why. So they basically say, like, because they're on limited protocol, they say we are returning the inmates to their cells.
I was giving them a good reason to tell me something that I would believe them.
I mean, they're being truthful. It's just the problem is that their logic as machines is their processing power. Something is going on to the point where they're just not smart enough to realize that like they're returning. Yeah, like on one hand, what they're saying is a partial truth. They are returning the inmates to their cells. Unfortunately, the cells are engulfed in plasma fire, so those people are going to die once they're in the cells. And the androids are just not that smart to realize it.
Who's our tech with us? Is that Summer?
With Evelyn gone, your tech, let's see. So Summer has a total of 6 for
One.
Comtech. Rena, her Comtech is a total of, no, not 11, 9.
I'll look at the both of you guys. Are they really that stupid?
Do you want us to all?
Well, in terms of stupid, because here's the thing. So, and I think I said this earlier, working Joes usually are not this stupid. But the thing is, with working Joes, you have to understand, because keep in mind, Vinny on your ship, he's a working Joe, and he's not this stupid. But the thing is, with working Joes, you have to understand is that they are usually bound by like an AI core, usually an Apollo model, and so there's an AI that guides their decisions, but these guys are basically running on like very limited brain power, like pre-programmed actions, because the station is on low power mode. That much I feel is obvious enough to mention.
Okay.
So like normally if this station was running at full power and it wasn't like corrupted or whatever, you know, the androids would obviously not just fucking throw like prisoners back into a flaming cell. They would be smart enough to realize, okay, the cell is on fire, so I'll have to use another one. Instead, they just like, well, these prisoners are assigned to this cell, and it doesn't matter if it's on fire.
Take me to see the warden.
And yeah, so the androids will comply, and you know, they will say, please follow me, and they will lead you not that far away. They actually take you up to um this oh, because point is token was in it. Oh well, this corrections office. Like I'm not going to move all the tokens in there, but so he takes you in there to actually a detention cell that apparently is being used as a like base of operations for the warden. Um, and let me just say, like, well, there's the warden and then there's another guy. And there's a six-pack of androids guarding that um general area. Let me see, Deck F, inmate infirmary, no security. Okay, so detention level. So the androids will they bring you there, and you see that they've been converted into quarters for two people. One of them is a guy who, you know, obviously is dressed as the warden. His fucking name tag even says Stykes, and it is this like this guy right here. Um, so he's the warden, and then there's another guy down here who is curiously enough in like chef attire, and uh, the warden looks to you as like, oh, visitors. I'm assuming you're the ones who have arrived at this, who crashed into the station.
That would be us. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
And he says that, I mean, I'm assuming by this point, uh, you've probably seen what's going on. He says that the prisoners have escaped. Now there are strange alien creatures roaming about killing people, or worse.
And where did these aliens come from?
He says that let me just double check something. Um, he says that you know, is it like he reluctantly, well, actually, what I'm going to say is, in terms of just to try to get a little information out of him, I want you to make an opposed manipulation roll against this guy.
All right.
Um, but before you roll, let's check the modifiers. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so skills. I mean, you'll automatically get the +1 from having more people. Well, actually no, because you have 7 in your group compared to he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then that's not even counting all the fucking battle droids that accompanied you. So let me just double check something. Where are skills? Manipulation. Okay, so what you ask for doesn't cost your opponent anything. Um, so that's +1, but at the same time, the opponent has more. So it's actually just a flat roll in this case, honestly. Do you want to? Yep. Oh, very nice. So is this guy? Okay. You won the tie, so you got yeah, an additional like you. So you have one success and one stun. So um, here's how we'll handle it. So do you want this to resolve the stunt first, or do you want like a synopsis of what's going on?
The synopsis first.
Okay. So he goes on to explain reluctantly, because you get the feeling that, like, Wix, as fucking unhinged as she is, was actually a little more truthful than she let on. or that you might have believed, because this guy begrudgingly admits that he says it all started after he brought the object aboard the station, like the I don't remember if he actually knows the name of what it is in game, but there is actually a name for it. That he for now he just says it's the meteor. He says we brought it aboard, and it turns out it was not just an ordinary meteor, and it was actually corrupted, somehow organically corrupted, and actually brought with it um, like a basically what he refers to as a plague. Like he says that it's somehow like infecting the station and bringing with it all the strange aliens that I'm sure you've encountered by this point.
Yeah, we dispatched a couple of them. Is this you guys the only humans left?
Um, he says that like of the people that have like that aren't prisoners, like the human personnel that aren't prisoners, he says that um there is himself, there is his like the chief cook, whose name is, let me just check, John Hobbs, and then he says that there's a different John named John Webb, uh but Webb has been missing in action. Like he doesn't know where Webb is. He says last time I saw him, he was a little does like the whole like twirling, like cuckoo crazy gesture. So he says that
Okay.
like there are three people, like including himself, that are still alive, that are, or well, at least two confirmed, including himself, and one that he believes is still alive, but he doesn't know what the hell is going on with the guy.
Okay. As for the stunt, I would like to do the third one.
Your opponent will try to help you later on. Okay.
Because I would like him to try to help me gain the information on where I could find the disc,
On the
the
flight
flight
recorder?
recorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he says that um, he actually let me just double check. Flight. So he says the flight recorder, I actually, I have it in the, what the fuck is this room? Again, I apologize for having to go through all these notes and kind of slow down. So this is deck F. Um, so he says that there is the bullpen, which is like the main sort of like control center. He says it was sitting on one of the uh, you know desks in there. And it's like a tall, like black and orange box that you can recover. And he says that but by this point I don't give a shit about it. It's all yours.
Is that the room that we entered?
No, 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 no. You entered from here.
No, no, no. I mean, when we entered the station, that is that the room he's talking about?
No, the room he's talking about is right here. It's like literally just up the hall. The bullpen.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Like basically, if you go like out of this room and then to the left, it's down the hall. So yeah,
Okay.
so he points it out. It's there if you want to take it. Um, and yeah,
And he's
so
asking, what's his plans? Are
and
you
so his plan, he says that the plan is just to let me just check because he has bio that he honestly just wants to you know get like fucking find Wix if she's still alive and deal with her and then figure out what to do. Like you get the vibe that like he just genuinely cares more about dealing with his rival than like saving lives and getting the hell out of here.
I tell him, well, once we repair our ship and we're able to get this disc, we can get you and the prisoners off of here safely. But we can't leave this station here with these aliens. That would be very bad for this system. So my plan was to take out the thrusters and have the station go into the black hole.
It says, well, I hope you aren't planning to do that while the ship is still lodged in.
Well, no, we would repair our ship first.
Yeah.
I said that.
Okay. Well, he was saying that like more jokingly than like as a serious statement. So.
So the question I have for you is, are you going to be able to be civil? Because on my ship, I command my ship. And if you're not going to be civil, and you're not going to be nice to the prisoners, and you're going to cause problems, I have no problem leaving you here.
Well, he says, I mean, just help me, deal with Wix, because she just cannot go free.
I am now in charge. How's that sound? So your choices are going to be you don't have to deal with her anymore. That's my problem. Your problem is being nice and not causing problems. Because I look around on my team, it's just, we handle problems very quickly.
And he says that if you're trying to threaten me, I suggest you heavily reconsider your actions, because he says that he says gesturing to the fucking like small army of androids surrounding you. Mentions that like I on your ship you are the captain, on this station I am, and you're on my station. And he says that we can either cooperate, but if you're going to threaten me on the station that I oversee, then you could share a cell with the prisoners.
Oh, that you're throwing into a flaming thermos because your robots aren't smart enough to realize that they're putting them into a flaming gel.
You think they're smart enough to dodge a shovel?
How many fucking robots are here right now?
So let's see. In the room, so you've got the 4 in the hallway, the 2 guarding the front door, and then all of the ones that were in the hallway, or like that were throwing the corpses into the fire. All of those guys are right behind you.
How many was that?
Let me double check. I think it was 6.
We're 6.
So 6. So you're currently surrounded by 10 androids with shotguns, and there are another 2 outside. And
so
also
they have a very slight numbers advantage.
But they're stupid androids that don't die.
And then, Stykes himself is also armed. So.
I really just want to pull my magnum and put it right to his fucking head. I really do.
Hey, buddy, you got cameras? You got like security cameras in this thing?
And he says, I mean, I do, but they're offline. Why?
Oh, so you didn't see where we entered. You didn't see what happened to those creatures.
Why don't you show me your shovel?
If you think a few robots are a serious threat compared to those things, well, I don't know.
I will warn you, these guys
You
are
guys
armed.
must
These
have some
fucking
serious
androids are
drugs
armed
on
with
this
weapons that
station.
will fucking electrocute you.
Yeah, and I'm armed with the Lovecraftian horror smashing shovel.
I'm trying to think. Do anybody have a video camera? Like video? I'd like to pull up some video.
Let's show them a highlight
there-
We all
reel.
have cameras.
Yeah, that's. I'm going to show them a highlight reel. This is. Let me show you what we've been doing this past year, and showing them fighting. Wait, me going one-on-one with the queen. Okay, like these guards, yeah, like can electrocute us, but hello, this is what we have faced, and this is the aliens we've faced.
You know, hold on. I could intimidate with my strength stat.
But keep in mind that if you, I mean, enemies always have the opportunity to attack you if they refuse your terms. And if this guy attacks you, the androids will fall suit. Like this is basically, I'm gonna outline to you guys that in terms of player agency, on one hand, yes, if you want to attack this guy and all the androids, you can. But this is going to be also one of those moments I'm going to warn you that kind of like, you know, for example, like drinking black goo or taking your helmet off in space. Like if you do this, and your character dies, your character is dead. Like this is one of those things that I just cannot save you if you're going to basically kill yourself.
Do these things have like that crazy of stats?
Let me put it this way: they are working Joes. Vinny is a working Joe, and you've seen Vinny in action. Like these guys have shotguns and stun batons.
So I'm going to say something that I usually say to Dax. Shut up. Stop talking.
For now.
So
All right, well, I'm going to turn around and walk out
okay, yeah. I mean he doesn't
and
he
go
doesn't
get our
stop you.
disc.
Okay.
I gave him the opportunity. He can live here with his robots as it goes into the black hole. I don't. I look at the chef and I bid him good day.
The chef. Well, the
And
chef
hit it.
didn't even say anything.
Right. That's why I looked at him, like smiled at him, and said, "Give him the look of your call. You can stay here with this goofball, but if you want to live, follow us." Kind of look.
Have fun when shit gets heavy.
Yep. And I will go get our our uh, our disc.
You're a chef. You know what spaghetti looks like.
So, yeah. So, the chef, you know, looks kind of torn, but he doesn't take immediate action. Um, so yeah, so you can get the
Hey.
flight recorder, and also I will note up the hall. You know those EVA pods that Tommy told you about? They're up here. So these, just a reminder, these pods are something that you pilot to basically like cut the ship free. Although I would not recommend doing that while you're trying to fucking charge it. Because, you know,
Correct.
you don't
Yeah.
want it to drift away and fucking snap the cables or whatever. But they are there if you want to like pilot one down.
Is that the only place they're at? Oh, well, there's over in two too,
Well,
so we don't have to
you
do
know
this
that they're
stupid
here.
goofball.
You know confirmed
Okay.
that there are pods here.
Okay. I also radio the React Force and tell them to keep their eyes on any robots.
Okay.
They have free reign on robots.
Okay. Like to shoot them on
So,
sight?
yep.
Okay.
If they come down there, where uh, at this point the prisoners are under my protection. So, if this Duder Brain and his Duder Brain robots go down there, they're to take them out.
Okay.
Because that's just less that when I come back here to kill him, that I have to deal with.
Oh man. Oh, that's funny. Um
Dude,
so
if I would have taken him if there was like 6 robots here, but there's 6 others. That's a lot. If I could bring the React Force up, and then we could take them. We had to, but I don't really want to do that. But yeah, we'll get our disc and um, uh, battery. We got the disc. What's the? We have to cut ourselves out.
charge
Oh,
the
batteries.
batteries and you well, remember the batteries are being charged.
Yep.
So that base is covered, but that's going to take time. The what you call it? Christ. So the battery's being charged. You found the EVA pod, but shouldn't use it yet, and then you need to get the coil, which would be EVA work.
All right, so I guess we'll head back down to Chi. What's her name?
Uh,
I'm so bad with names.
I can tell. Are you talking about the prisoner lady?
Yeah, the old lady.
Her name is Wix.
Wix. Where did I get Chi from?
I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of the
Um,
Asian guy.
maybe. Um, I'll ask Raina. Does she want to go and look at the meteor?
She says, given the dangers in the station, I would rather not go alone. Would you accompany, Commander?
Yeah, we'll go there next while we're waiting for recharging. Is everybody
Okay.
cool with going to check out the meteor?
Okay. So, I would say so let me just find where the hell all the fucking tokens are. So there you guys are. So, you are going to, hold on, does junction J5 connect to the, oh, conveniently it does. So let me just, grab that. Oh, what the fuck? What the hell? Oh, right. What the fuck is going on here? I can't select all these fucking tokens. Oh, oops. So, let me just, sorry, I'm just having technical
Well, you're
difficulties.
moving just me right now.
I know, well, the problem is I accidentally moved you on your own. Yeah, I can't fucking, why not day? I can't select all the goddamn tokens in the group, and I don't know why. Okay, so deck G, so I will move all of you up to deck G, and now I gotta manually add the tokens, so so let's see, so, Martin, Gunny, Arthur, Summer, Crunk, um, and then Johnny and Rena. Johnny is there. Okay, so all the tokens are on deck G, and let's see. I need to double check real something something. So first order of business is you would oh, somebody just disconnected. We are missing Tom. There we go. Oh, it's me. Let me guess. The Cox. Yep. Okay. So we'll give him a second as I'm preparing this. Can you still hear? Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
now.
All right. Cool.
I'm reconnecting. It, I get these bad ports, and when I get a bad port, the internet just slows
Yeah.
down to a crawl.
So, okay. So,
I'm back.
all right. Cool. Speaking of which, you know that last thing I gave you?
Yeah,
There's a new one when you get to this deck. So, I know where it
I
says
have a
stress level
second
plus
thing.
one. Yeah, stress level plus one, then stress level minus one. So in this case, I don't add up any stress, but read over that so you know what's going on. Speaking of which, if you wanted to discuss that with Rena now, you can, or not, or with anybody.
Yeah, if it's getting worse, I would.
Okay. So what do you say to her as you're making your way up to deck G?
Say, Reddy, you need to scan me. Something weird's happening. I'm hearing this weird beating noise. Hold on. What's it describe? I'm hearing this thumping rhythm. Um, it seems to be wanting to draw me. I don't know how, but it seems to be trying to send me a message, and I don't
And
understand it.
yeah, Rena
But
looks at
now
you.
that we're here, um, It's gotten stronger.
And she mumbles, fascinating, and looks to everybody else and says, "Are any of you experiencing this?" I am not. So she turns back to Horgus and says, "So it appeared as just you then," and is going to ask Johnny to give her, a hand in terms of like doing like a medical check on her. Like, and when I say that, I don't mean like an actual medical aid role. It's just like she's checking you out, in terms of seeing what's going on.
Hey, Cody, real quick.
What?
Do I know what it's called, or or is it the source is drawing me, but I don't actually know what it's called.
You don't know what it's
Well,
called.
okay, that's what I want to
Like,
make sure.
basically, it's kind of like the equivalent of like how your motion trackers, for example, like the closer you are to something, the louder it beeps. Like, this is basically like the sensation you're experiencing is basically that in your head, kind of deal.
Yep.
So Rena is checking you out with Johnny's help. However, I just need to check something. So, um, you hold on. So, as you are proceeding to your current objective, or like as you're, in this sort of downtime thing, something you would actually have noticed, um, and like even like Rena stops working, kind of notices it. She says, "Do the walls of the station look different to you?" And the reason why she says that is so this station, up until this point, has been kind of a metal labyrinth, but now it's different. Now it almost looks like an alien hive because it looks like biomechanical, like basically support beams are skeletal structures, power conduits are turning into veins, and so forth. And the thing is, what distinguishes this from the alien hive you encountered before, is that this has like a distinct like honeycomb patterning on it, like a beehive.
Okay.
So make of that what you will. And if anybody wants to say anything, you can before I move into the next thing.
I'm saying we need to find the source of this. It's
Yep.
important we find the source.
So, but before you move out, you actually hear two different noises. So one of them is a piercing shriek that sounds very similar but not identical to those of the xenomorphs you've encountered before, echoing from one direction. Um, and a voice coming from the other direction saying, "Oh, is that supposed to scare me? Bring it on, tough guy." Um, and oh, before I forget, also, I need to do another roll. I need you, or rather, I need you guys. Can everybody roll me a d6, please?
Oh, I got the one.
Okay, so let's see.
He said everyone.
Yeah. So, we are missing Tobias and Summer. Who are both muted. What a surprise.
Raw.
Can you roll a d6, please?
If it would allow me to. What the fuck? Okay, enter.
Okay, so... Oh, that was
There you go.
rolled as Johnny somehow, but I'll still count that. Then Summer... Is she still... Is she BRB'd? Okay.
You
Where
can
are
just
the...
force her to roll it.
Yeah, I'll just fucking roll it. Just keep this moving. D6. She got a 5. So apparently I had Gunny selected, so I need to double check something. So neurological distortion disorder, 1d6 plus 1. Okay, so um, so okay, let's see. So Horgus, or that? Oh no, that wasn't Horgus. That was Summer. So Summer has that. Okay, so everybody is good for now. I won't mention why I'm having you do this, but there is a reason for it. But anyway, as to the current situation, yeah, you hear like the alien-like screech, and somebody, back talking, whatever made that noise. Um, and yeah, so you do see from both directions after a few seconds delay, you see two shadows in the wall, one big and one small, moving very fast and both heading towards you. So the small one is heading up north, and the bigger one is down south. And because there's a little bit of time, do you guys want to take any kind of actions, like a fast or a slow action, or just generally kind of bracing yourself, like positioning around the room, yada yada yada?
Again, we don't have zone lines either. Is this room we're in one zone?
Yes.
And how many zones away are they?
Well, I'll divide it up. Give me a sec. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'd say that's 4. Because the problem is that this map, unlike the Colonial Marines Operations Manual, it's not really well divided. So that's that, and then basically assume the same of the other ones. So let me just do 1, 2, 3. Oh, fuck, 3 and 4. Okay. So, all right. So, and I will remind you that your shoulder lamps illuminate one zone away. So you would have full, like, no darkness penalty from one zone away. Like, so in these adjacent zones. Um, so, um, entering yeah, so once you see the two shadows approaching you, so, which do you want to address first, the smaller one or the larger one?
Well, let me ask you this, Cody. Which direction am I being forced to go?
Well, it's not necessarily like there's like a GPS that or something that's going like you're getting warmer kind of deal. Like it's a feeling that like now that you're on this deck, it's stronger. And I'll say this much: on this side, like this half, it's the stronger of the two. Like it would lose its effect. It would be a little less severe if you went further away. So you're getting a little warmer.
Okay.
So there's that. So as for the shadows, well, I guess I'll say this much. So the smaller shadow is an overweight orange tabby cat.
It's mine.
Um,
So when you said that, my cat also jumped up and
yeah.
put a
So
paw on my
yeah.
keyboard.
So the cat is approaching you. However, the bigger, more apparent threat is I'll move it down here. Oops. This guy. A dark blue colored creature that strongly resembles a xenomorph, but the back of its head is actually noticeably pointier than that of a xenomorph. Its skin overall is a lot smoother and less ribbed than that of a xenomorph, and it lacks the distinct, like, barbed tail of a xenomorph, which,
Oh my
speaking of,
god.
this is something completely new, so everybody gets 1 point of stress for seeing it.
You used Garfield.
Yeah, I did. Um, so as it so as the creature, like turns the corner, sniffs the air, glances your direction, screeches, and goes barreling towards you. So, um, because we're about 20 minutes short of 3, I'll ask you guys, do you want to end it on this cliffhanger, or do you want to play out initiative a little bit?
I'm good to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
All right, because I have another potential cliffhanger planned. We can do that. So you guys are go. All right. So roll toggle combat state for all of you, and then did I already add the deacon? Yep. So what the hell is the speed on this thing anyway? No, 2. Okay, so draw all. And then I need to duplicate combatant, roll for it. Oh my god, yeah, this thing sucked at its initiative. Okay, and then I know Martin has fast reflexes. Reroll initiative.
Yep.
Do you want the 4 or the 6 that you're at? 4?
Yeah.
Okay,
The sooner the sooner I can fuck this shit up, the better it is.
yeah, okay. So, and then does anybody want to swap initiatives? Because we currently have
You
Gunny,
missed the
Horgus,
you missed the cat. The
No, he's
cat's
not.
not in
Cat.
the initiative.
He's not in the initiative.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
No, he's not.
Oh,
The cat is hissing at the alien.
Yeah,
The cat will.
can't the cat intimidate?
no, he can't.
um,
So,
I actually thought the cat was one of the face huggers.
one from what's it called? Fucking Marvel.
what?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes.
What's going on?
Probably want to
NFC.
drop. Move Renna to Arthur's position, and then move Arthur to Johnny's.
Okay, Arthur will swap with Johnny.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Now, the question for you, Arthur. I'm pretty sure you want to use your flamer on this, right?
Think again.
In case they're acid guys again. I don't know if they're acid or not.
Hmm.
So me and you are the flamer guys.
Very
The
good
reason
point,
I'm
actually.
asking is I'm willing to non-aim to give you more successes if that's what you want to do.
Blitz, are you still there or are you AFK?
He said he has to step away.
I know, but I
Oh,
mean, that
okay.
was like 5 minutes ago, so I'm wondering if he's still.
Sorry, I got the players mixed up.
Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Either way, he would go
Okay.
before Renna. So, okay, so are you guys content with this current order?
Arthur with Tobias, because I'd rather have the two flamers go first. If we could take them out first, that would be smarter.
Okay, Tobias, are you cool with that? Ghost? That's a mage. Alright. Well, I'll take that as a yes.
Hello? Can you not
Hi.
hear me this entire
I
time?
can-
Can now.
I can now.
Now we can.
Fuck, that was stupid. I was unmuted and was talking, but whatever.
I genuinely
I
didn't
was
hear
ask-
you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was dumb because Discord's stupid. Where's the other deacon?
There is no other deacon, there's just the one down south.
He gets
is
two
it?
attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Most
is.
alien creatures can go twice and sometimes even 3 times in a round.
That's hilarious. Well, I mean, if that's the case, yeah, then I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Okay, so I will switch.
Switching it.
Yeah, swap initiative with Arthur. Okay, so we're starting now. If that's the initiative. So Gunny
Yep.
Horgust.
All right. So I'm going to use the flamer not with aiming. Is there any weird modifiers?
No. I would say it's just a flat roll. Oh, nice. Pushing that or keeping it?
I am keeping because it's 2 successes, right?
Yeah, it's 2 successes. So now
Yep.
I need to roll the thing's armor, see if it soaks. It soaks the extra success, but that's 3 base damage, and then roll your fire intensity.
What's the command on that again?
/R space 12 dB, 12 Delta Bravo.
DB, that's what.
All right, one extra fire thing. Let's see if the armor withstands, which it doesn't. So this thing is nearly like one round. It's nearly cooked. However, uh, just before you like kilverize the thing, um, you actually hear a very shrill whistle resonating in everyone's heads. Not just Gunny Horgus, but everybody. Like you hear like a painful, like it's kind of like a dog whistle, honestly. Um, and the deacon, like it's still like, by this point, I'll say narrowly, like the fire, um, like it actually, I mean, it calls off its attack, like it stops charging you and stops. Um, and I need to double check something. So, give me a sec, please, because there is a specific. This is a specific moment in the scenario. A very interesting one at that. Where the flippin' fuck is it? So, yeah, basically as this thing, like the fire, like, dies down, it's very badly burned, and it doesn't exactly look happy about it. Um, but basically out of the darkness, like behind this thing, uh, yeah, out steps another creature like the one you saw before, and it walks out of the darkness, um, runs its hand along the deacon's head, and like reaches out towards you, not like casting a spell or like trying to attack you, but it beckons without malice, and it actually psionically imparts information in your heads. Like it actually communicates psionically, and um, let me just um, figure out, because there's a specific message for it. If hold on, where the fuck is it? God, this thing is just okay. The offer. Okay, so um, yeah. So basically, what it does is so the images that you see, because it is actually imagery. Images of grotesque and morbid beauty flood your mind. A flesh and metal tree twists in a surreal landscape, its bark made of 1,000 writhing faces. Blue sky fades to white. Black vines dig in gray soil, birthing a ribbed landscape of swelling bronchi and pulsing aortas. The tree grows ripe and rots. Pollen explodes everywhere, choking off life, mutating whole forests. The planet's surface becomes a crisscross of wriggling tree limbs, grasping and closing off the sky above them. The world explodes. Spiked trees impale other worlds, starting the process again. A broken genetic code appears in your head, an incomplete formula. One of you knows it, the 26 Draconis strain. Which one of you? How? It doesn't matter. Now you all know it. A wave of forest rolls over this new world. It bears down on you. You give the formula to this thing, the perfected. The wave strikes, but grows around you instead of through you. The message is clear. Give this thing to the perfected and be spared. Do not and die.
Charming.
Lovely.
And that, I think, is where we're going to end this, because
Okay.
that seems like a good cliffhanger. Um, so, yeah.
Mm.
Um,
I'm
so,
so confused.
yeah. That's Heart of Darkness for you. um, so,
So she gave us a code to give to them, but isn't she one of them?
no, this thing is a perfected. Like, remember when Wix mentioned the perfected? This is one of them.
Yeah.
And basically, this thing is saying, like, it wants something. It wants you to find something for it. And if you get it, you will be rewarded. And if you don't, well, you don't want to think about that.
Okay.
So it's not actually attacking you yet. Like, this thing actually doesn't seem interested in violence.
Okay.
Um, so,
Oh.
Let me
I'm planning on sending my shovel man down to pop her in the head with a
yeah.
shovel. So
So so basically but yeah, now imagine it's like, like implies that it isn't interested in violence, and then he's like, well, that's too bad, because we are.
pretty much. You crazy,
That's what I
crazy
just said.
psycho putting
Yeah.
crazy ass images in my head. No, I don't think so.
Oh my god. And yeah, so in terms of XP, everybody bring up your sheets. Um, where art thou, sheet? So let's see. Um, developing your character. There we go. All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. Everybody gets the automatic 5. Did you participate in the game session? Yes, everybody did. Did you follow your personal agenda?
I think that really applied.
Okay. Um, did you risk your life for your buddy?
Buddy? No.
So, did you challenge or stand up to your rival?
I destroyed him.
No, are you talking about Miller?
Yeah, I don't have a rival now. I destroyed him.
Okay, well, um, did you make a panic roll? Which I know for a fact. Let's see. I know. Uh, Summer definitely did. I think
Nah,
Gunny
we
did.
all did.
probably not.
We all
I
did.
did.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
think
then
we all did.
I don't remember when you did, Marty.
When I first saw the tentacle.
Oh yeah. Okay. Um. So. Okay. So panic roll. Everybody did that. Did you overcome a dangerous event? I mean, yeah. You
Yeah.
always do. Did you make a significant discovery or revelation? I mean, holy hell yeah. Lots.
What the fuck was that?
Lots. Fucking lots.
Yeah.
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I mean, fuck, Arthur, yeah. Like he did too. Like prying open the airlock door like Turok and then fucking pulverizing the fucking squid thing with his shovel. So Arthur, absolutely. Like Arthur would fucking get the point for that. And did you earn any money? Which nobody has been paid yet. So okay. Um, in terms of spending XP, I would say in this situation you would not be able to spend any on a talent right now, but you can on a skill if you wish.
And I roll my wits for the one I've been trying to get.
Sure, as long as you're not trying to get something new.
God fucking damn, I'm never gonna get that damn skill.
Wait, will you allow what Emily allows, which you can use a story point to succeed?
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, in this situation, yeah, because that actually raises a good point. That so, and I'll say this for the group. So, Tom, do you have at least one story point?
I have 2.
Okay, so what Emily was doing, because she started to run the Colonial Marines Operations Manual campaign, and she came up with a rule that I actually like. Is well, I shouldn't say it like that because I like how she's been doing it, but so you can burn a story point to automatically succeed on any roll, which I would extend to talent rolls. But I mean, you obviously lose a story point, but you automatically succeed on the wits roll. So if you want to use one of your 2 story points to finally get that talent, you can.
No. I'd rather save the story points from when I go and face another stupid queen and about to die.
You've got 2.
Trust me, I'll need it. Dude, I really wanted to kill that guard dude. He pissed me off. I wanted him, but I didn't want to. That's why I took the experience because I had to put the life of my brothers before mine. And that's why I backed out because I
Fair enough.
wanted to just drive the 45 into his face so bad.
Well, 44, but who's keeping score?
Or whatever the hell it is, my Magnum.
Yeah, it's a 44 Magnum. Other than that, hopefully everybody had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have. I don't. I
If
could
you had
use.
fun.
I could up my range combat to 5.
There's a reason I have close combat but I'm not sure what.
Blocking.
I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm gonna increase that to 5. 2, 8, 3, 4, 5.
Supper, you were saying
And
something?
I'm not sure if I should increase my observation. mobility, or close combat.
I would say if you're the scout, maybe up your mobility, because I mean the highest it can go is 5. So
Yeah.
And I'm gonna increase my stamina to 5.
very nice.
It's at a 4 now.
9, 10, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to increase my
gonna-
contact by 1.
Gonna increase my observation. Well, goes all of my.
Oh.
Hello. I just realized you added story points.
Wait, what?
Story points on the sheet under
Well,
experience.
the problem is that if you select story points, it disables experience.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So
Just stupid.
just keep track of it either in your description or your ad hoc, in your character sheet, your inventory. So. Other than that, any other questions, comments, concerns?
Nope. And we play this next week, right?
Yeah, we're going to be playing next week. And then Interstellar Marines the week after.
Yeah, because that one. I'll be at the convention center with a bunch of Food Network stars. Will be at the convention.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Okay, so there's that then. Good
Won't
session,
be here
guys.
either.